The views and opinions expressed by the host do not necessarily state or reflect those of the guests. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily state or reflect those of the host. I'm a stupid robot.
Give it up for the funny, the hilarious. King of the open micers at the 190. Alonzo, Cantu.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
If this nation, or in fact the world, ever needed heroes, that time is now. That time is now.
Our exploratory diving bell is...
The escape the mummy is here in Paris.
Wong and his assistant, Mary Nelson, and that is...
All computers indicate that whatever caused it came from somewhere in the Pacific. We'll start searching that area immediately.
Live from San Antonio, this is the Ace Man Alonzo Cantu with my best friend Consigliere and the Shogun of San Antonio, Mr. Bub motherfucking Jenkins, everybody.
What's going on? Goon Squad, represent, #1.
Yeah, turn that up a little bit. I like to hear myself loud. That's beautiful. All right, and who else do we have in the studio? Mr. Bub Jenkins is a very best friend, invited her to the show himself. He's been begging to get her on the show. I keep on saying, no, Bub, no. We can't have her on the show. She's too big. She's too powerful. If she comes onto the show, then ever turns against us, the disaster. The consequences could be dire. The one, the only, #1 with a bullet, just blazing through the scene, calling out the names, calling out everybody in this fucking scene. Mrs. Dieta.
Aced.
Hi guys, thanks for having me today.
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks for showing up.
Thanks for inviting me. Super excited.
One of the 2 people we booked for the show today showed up.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Aced.
I don't know. What's going on? How you doing, Dieta? How you doing this morning?
I am doing fantastic. We're getting ready for Flash Ops as our new show next Saturday. We had another great night at the Crazy Ape last night.
Well, fantastic.
Aced.
For you guys that don't know, Crazy Ape is a competition mic on every other Friday night.
Most people know it as the Ape Shit comedy mic, but the Crazy Ape is the venue where we have it.
Mm-hmm. And at 1:30 p.m., I'm very excited, very nervous. That's why I'm a little bit blanked head. But at 1:30, we will have an interview with what the designer and one of the co-creators of Wonder Chosen and designer and co-creators of Xavier Renegade Angel and one of the early founding members of PFFR, calling in at 1:30. I'm not going to have any call-ins at that portion of the show. Feel free to put your questions in the chat, though, when he's doing the interview, and I'll be trying to get to as many of those as I can. So please put your questions in the chat, but feel free to call in. Up until then, up until 1:30, the phone lines are open, as always, 210-284-2552. Call up, ask Dieta why she hasn't booked you yet. That is a tradition whenever we have somebody with a little bit of clout in the scene. I want everybody that isn't getting shows to call in and say, hey, Dieta, why'd you put me on the pay no mind list? What did I do to you? So, Dieta.
Yes, sir.
What did I do to you?
I mean, settle down. We're only working on our second show. We're making our way around.
That's 2 shows I haven't been a part of. That's 2 shows too many. I'm just teasing. I don't even do comedy anymore. What I've started to do now is I raise cats. I'm starting off with 1 cat. And I didn't realize what the gender was until recently because I didn't want to look at its butt. You know, I didn't want to. They're like, oh, is it a boy or a girl? I'm like, ew, why are you asking me that? I don't look at that. It's a child. That's what it is. But I was rubbing its belly and all that, and I was like, oh, yep, no balls. There you go. But it's finally warmed up to me. People have heard the cat saga. Kind of. I finally whittled myself down to being a person that lets the cat inside all the time. The shit doesn't stink as bad as I thought it would. I'm not feeding it wet food, so I'm sure there's some people out there that think that's animal cruelty, and it stays outside. And the neighbors have a name for it, Lupita, and they give it treats. So whenever I know that it's not here, I know it's over there getting treats like a cheating piece of shit that it is. Yeah, they didn't give you a flea collar, did they, though? They just had you just scratching yourself like a bum.
So it's a male or a female?
It's a female.
She's adorable, though.
Nah, she's really cool. It was funny, too, because I've only had male cats up until I had 1 female cat. I've had like 13 cats growing up. I had 1 female cat out of all of them that was like a feral cat. So I could never see like what's the difference between male and female cats until now. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's definitely it's a girl. I don't know. There's a difference to they're not as aggressive. It's still aggressive like a cat, but just not as, I don't know, maybe I'm off. Maybe it's just this cat, but very chill cat, very cool cat. Thank you so much for the compliment. We're now friends. All is forgiven.
Thank you. Yeah, no, she's adorable. In my experience, the male cats we've had have always been chill, and the females are super aggressive.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I got to look into that because, but I always had double cats, like 2 males, so maybe that they brought that out of each other or something. Maybe. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any pets right now?
Yeah, well, so we have we have 3 female cats and 1 male cat. We ended up with because my daughter had 3 cats, and then my son had a cat, and now they're both back here with me. So, but we have 1 male cat and 3 females. And the male, he's a big boy. He's super loving, super cuddly, super chill. And the girls, I mean, one of them, if you walk by her and she's in a bad mood, she'll freaking just like.
Yeah, just claw at you.
Ma'am, am
like
I allowed to cuss on this thing?
Oh, please, you can say whatever you want to. I think we've said every word on here.
Okay,
I'm pretty
good.
sure one time or another, always in context.
I was like, I don't know. Am I supposed to be censoring myself?
No, please. And also, what I really, now that we've broken the ice, did you have something to say, Bo?
Yeah, but I know that you like to drop the N-word a lot. Can you just refrain?
Okay, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
just
No hard R's.
as long as it's in context.
Got it, okay, yeah.
As long as you're quoting...
I'll watch that one.
As long as you're quoting Chandra, you're allowed to say the hard R. So Dieta, I've talked to you a little bit just because you're always, in the scene and all that. You're definitely a person that's got her finger on the pulse, which I think is always really cool. And I've talked to you, and I know that you don't actually do comedy yet. I know she's probably going to eventually get into it when she sees how easy it is. She's like, oh my gosh, all these bums.
Yeah.
But well, even though I've already asked you this, I like the listeners, people that see you around and are like, hey, so why did you get into the scene? How'd you start? And what's your company or what would you call it? A company, a movement?
Comedy production company.
Okay, very cool.
So I got into the scene. It really just started from a love of comedy. Back when I've always loved watching stand-up and, comedy movies and stuff. But about, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago when I was living in Louisiana, the comedy scene was so booming out there. They had a show once a month. So, no, I'm good. So we would go to, me and my daughter would go to that one show, once a month and go watch it. And that couple of hours of just fuck the world and just laughing, like afterwards, I always referred it to like a spa day for my soul. Like I was just so light and so enlifted after just laughing for a couple of hours, and I didn't have to fucking worry about anything, and I was just happy. So I still would go see shows when I could or whatever, and then flash forward to the end of 2020 when my entire life got flipped upside down and I lost my marriage and my business and everything. And I moved back here, and I was, with losing my marriage, I also lost 3 kids that I raised for 12 years.
Jesus.
Because they weren't biologically mine, so I couldn't take them with me. So I came back to San Antonio because I've always felt like this was home. And I'm just trying to put myself back together.
And so you decide that you'd be around a bunch of these degenerate comedians because then in comparison to your life to theirs, you're like, oh my God, I'm like the fucking president. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I have all my teeth, everything. What's going on? You have a car?
Yeah, I needed that. So, and then my daughter was also deployed in Syria at the time when all this stuff happened. So I got here and I was trying to figure out what to do. And I was like, you know what? I was like, they've got to have comedy around here.
You kept on looking. You still haven't found it yet?
So that's kind of, I found Clifton Simmons open mic when it used to be over at Lucky's.
Shout out to Cliff. I just did a show with him for Nathan Garner for the Small Town Talk Show. Very great show. Cliff's a very funny dude. Go on. I'm sorry to interrupt.
You're good. So, yeah, so Cliff was my first comedian friend, and I kind of was going to his shows, and from there I met other people, and they told me about other mics, and it just kind of, that's how I ended up at the Elbow Room, and the Elbow Room became like an every Tuesday thing for me, and then eventually I just started going to more and more mics, and just, I love the community. I love, I almost enjoy just bullshitting with the community, because, we'll sit down and laugh for hours just talking about shit. So I just can't get in, I just love, I guess I'm a laughter connoisseur, so.
I think that's so beautiful, by the way, that you love comedy so much and you love watching it so much and you love doing it so much that you're like, how can I kind of maybe business face this? How can I kind of find, maybe a little bit of money in this passion? And then also give these people that you like, maybe put a little money in their pocket too, I'm sure is kind of the goal as well.
Yeah. For me personally, monetary gain on my part is inconsequential. It's great, obviously, but I have a job, I make good money.
Can I borrow $20?
But I got it. The reason of wanting to do it is because I did want to see, I see a lot of people that I think are really good, but for whatever reason, they don't ever get any opportunities. So we wanted to start something where we could give people opportunities who aren't ever getting them. Or, obviously some people that are already getting opportunities will end up putting on shows. Because you're funny, you're funny. That's the end of the day, but we're not going straight for Joe, who's already doing 20 shows this month, We're trying to find people that need more exposure, and that are funny. So, that's for me. It's a conversion of two things, which is also why all the shows are themed. It's about giving more exposure to comedians, and also by doing the theme shows, my goal is to possibly entice people who have not experienced comedy yet, give them something a niche or something that they may be interested in, aside from, it's just another comedy show. We're gonna do something here. Oh, I've never seen that before. Maybe I'll go check it out and try to introduce new people to comedy. And because that's what I didn't discover it till I was in my 30s. Watching shows or stand up, but not comedy, mics, going
the
to
scene,
shows.
yeah.
So it's not something I even discovered. I know there's people out there that just, for whatever reason, has never been exposed to it. And I'm just trying to find reasons to give more people exposure to it so that they can also find that love of the laughter, of the comedy.
No, and I think, well, first off,
Aced.
but second off, yeah, no, I love your theme shows. I think you're really clever. I think you're definitely a refreshing perspective on the comedy scene when you come up with these shows, and you're definitely coming there as a watcher. Which, most of the time it's kind of hard to get any kind of feedback like that from people, unless it's negative, you know what I mean, or something that you should be doing. It's cool that you have this outsider's perspective as the audience to what would get me to go to a show? What would I like to go to a show for? And I think that's really very cool. And I think people are going to be going to a lot of your shows. I definitely think 2 is just the start,
Yeah, no, well, and we're super excited, and Adrian Van Dang and Grabby are phenomenal partners. We all play different roles.
Oh, yeah, so I'm sorry to interrupt. But yeah, tell me about your team.
Yeah, so it's me, Adrian Van Dang, and Grabby, or some know him as Evan Grabenstein. We kind of just this shit just like happened. Me and Adrian became friends earlier in the year. He kind of asked me, like, hey, I started helping him out, like, with his, so it started with, we were opening the Ape Shit comedy mic, and I wanted music afterwards, because with that, too, the reason why it's a mic, but we also have a DJ, and we also have a food guy, is because I was trying to find ways to entice people to come and also to stay. Because I've brought a lot of friends with me to mics and stuff, and they'll go, and then after, the hour and a half, they start getting, So I was like, well, maybe if we have dancing after, that'll entice more people to stay. We've got the food guy out there, that'll entice more people to stay. So
his burgers are pretty good.
Yeah,
that guy's pretty good.
Yeah, they are. We actually had a different guy out there last night because JP couldn't make it, But anyway, so I'm talking to Adrian about I'm trying to figure out this music thing, and then he's like, oh, I can DJ. He's like, I DJ too. And I was like, what? I was like, kind of see the way the Ape Shit budget works right now is we have a checkings and a savings. And I was like, we don't have the budget for a DJ. And he was like, no. He was like, I'll just do it. Like, I'll do it for free. And then I was like, okay, bet. Well, you'll do this for me, then I'll start helping you with your social and start, So it was like a give and take kind of thing, and that's where our friendship started. And that's where mine and Adrian's business relationship started. And then a few months ago, out of nowhere, here comes Grabby, moved to San Antonio. He gets on the scene, and he just, I don't know, the stars just aligned, and he just fell in with me and Adrian, and Adrian started talking about the pop-up comedy, and at the same time he was talking about wanting to do pop-up comedy, I had already been thinking about starting to do theme shows.
You should be able to twist it to tighten it. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's a little loose. I just like so you can move it how you feel
Okay,
comfortable.
there
Then you
we
can
go.
always untwist it.
But I was already thinking about doing theme shows, and I was like, why don't we just merge these two ideas? We'll do the pop-up and the theme shows. Like the pop-up, like our next show was in a dance studio. So it's not always going to be at a bar, at your typical venues. Like, we're literally trying to do pop-up, like you don't know where it's going to be.
That's actually something that I was writing down as you were talking, is that you don't just stick to one venue, the Crazy Ape.
No.
How many venues have you been doing shows at right now? Would you say, just, it's not, you don't have to name each of them, but like more than 3, it seems like. And I guess the question I wanted to ask is, do you have any advice on developing relationships with venues, how to kind of open up a venue?
I mean, I just go in, and some of them are places that I've frequented.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times I'll just go in and ask if who's in charge, if they're there, if I can talk to them. And then when they come out, I just, hey, my name's Dieta. This is what I'm trying to, like, I already have planned out. I know my purpose, my drive, my pitch. Like, I already have it planned out, what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it. Plus, I make sure, like, when I'm pitching an idea to someone, I always do it with a lot of enthusiasm, because that's infectious. And when I'm excited about it, they're excited about it, So, like, and it's something that I've noticed. It's not something I started doing intentionally, but it's something that I picked up on, so I have tried to capitalize on that. because people would be like, you're just so excited and you're making me excited. And then I started to realize my excited energy, I guess, in general is infectious. But when I'm talking about something that I'm passionate about, like my energy, my excitement for that tends to transfer. So I just when I'm talking to new people that I'm trying to do business with or I need something from, I make sure I explain to them, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, but excitedly, like, we're gonna elevate the comedy community and we're bringing new exciting things. And so, I mean, for me, it's just, for lack of any good advice, I've just always been good at networking. I mean, it's just something that I always have been good at is with people.
What's a mistake you see a lot of people do that you see shoot themselves in the foot when it comes to networking? Would you see? Because I'm sure you see that with a lot of comedians. I definitely know that I have shot myself in the foot multiple times.
Ditto.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny getting to know the comedians because it's amazing for people who get up on the stage all the time and stand in front of crowds and talk. And I love y'all. I love y'all to death, but a lot of y'all have serious lack in communication skills. Like, whether it be consistent communication, some are just awkward socially. I mean, which and probably is why they're good on stage, right? But as far as I think, because one of them was telling me like he was trying to get a venue, but he kind of started it out with, "Hey, y'all don't you don't really have anything going on around here. Why don't you let me help you and bring people in?" And I'm like, instead of starting out insulting the venue, why don't you be like, "Hey, this is a really nice spot. Like, I would love to do something here." Like, it's all about finessing. You gotta.
Oh yeah, go on. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
sorry.
I just wanted to fix your mic real quick.
Oh,
So
yeah.
because it seems like you're struggling with it. I don't want you to have to
keep-
struggle. Oh yeah, because I think it's more set up to kind of hang like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's do that then.
Yeah. There you go. Oh no, yeah, you can kind of do. It's all good. Give me 1 second.
It's an operator
Hey, Bub,
error.
Phil, plug what you got coming up.
Okay.
It's
It's a
So,
yeah.
yeah.
That's all you.
I'm good with
It's my
people,
fault.
not
I
mics.
really should have set this up more properly.
Yeah, just Deanna's not used to being on this side of the microphone.
No.
So she's like, what am I supposed to do with this?
All right, there we go.
All right, good to go?
This almost feels like a first date now.
Big black things in front of your face.
Haste.
Have you ever dated a black guy?
Yes, I have.
I was
That's
just
the
curious.
real show. She's like, this is like we've never had a show this serious before, but now it's actually the real show. Yeah.
No, I just figured you'd be able to handle the mic a little better in that case.
Well, I'm not used to it being as floppy either. So.
Oh.
Haste.
So, talking about things that you're excited about, what's got you excited about coming up with Flash Comedy? It's what it's called, Flash Comedy.
Flash laughs.
Flash laughs. I'm sorry, Flash laughs.
okay.
Very
Flash
good.
laughs.
That's what you should call your whole thing about getting flashed. We could have stolen that. God damn it.
We still can.
We still can. You're right. Fuck yeah.
Well, flashlaughs.com is already taken, guys. Sorry. Our next show, actually, we've decided to get real spunky with it. We have the Battle of the Sexes going at
Haste.
8 to 10, which is going to be fun. We've got 4. What's that?
Where and when?
It's going to be at Smash Dance, November 18th. Doors open at 7. The Battle of the Sexes show, we got 4 males, 4 females. Got some great comedians. They're going to go head to head. The audience is going to vote on the top male and the top female, and then they're going to have a 1-minute fire-off round, and then we'll crown the winner.
Who do you have on that show?
We have, for the females, we have Rob.
They got Jimmy Lou and Fabi. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I think Laura Ortiz is on there. The only people that have been on the show get plugs. I'm teasing. Go on. I'm just telling. No, please go on. Go. I'm teasing.
We do have Jimmy Lou, Laura Ortiz, Nina, Robin Haney,
Which team is Nina on?
Sam Haney, Fabi,
I think you should switch Sam and Nina to the opposite teams.
Right?
Aced.
Hooch is going to be on it. He's an Austin comedian.
Oh, how'd that happen?
Well, some of the guys have been going to Austin a lot, and he's come to the Ape Shit mic too a few times. Hooch has. So he's kind of like transplants back and forth.
Oh, I remember them yelling his name.
Huey told you guys to wipe the Austin off your shoes before you tracked it back into San Antonio.
For real?
All right. We're not saying you can't go to Austin, but try not to bring anything back with you.
Yeah.
Wear protection, please.
Yeah, typically not, but Hooch is he comes over here and pays homage, and he's
That's fine.
Aced.
We need at least a token Austin person.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
So who did we talk about? We got Hooch, we got Sam Haney, we got Fabi.
Seems a little overbooked when you mention it.
Yeah, that does sound like a lot of acts.
No, we'll be good.
And each person gets up and does a set.
Yeah.
So what's the theme of this? So it's a battle of the sexes. Are they competing in their comedy? Is there going to be some kind of sexual thing going on too?
What's the format look like?
Is it a battle of sexiness possibly?
It is going to be
You need Fabi in a Speedo.
right.
I am not the gay.
That would be funny.
Zandy asks, is Grabby based on his name? Was based on his name? Is that what it was? Grabenstein?
Yeah, well, it was from whenever he was in the military. They gave him that nickname, I believe.
Interesting.
I'm assuming it's from his name, though.
Oh, we forgot. So the fourth guy on the show is Alex Faircloth.
Oh, yeah, I hadn't seen him in a minute.
So yeah, we've been watching him. He's been working on his stuff. But we're doing a male, a female, a male, a female, a male, a female. They'll each do a set, and I'm sure a lot of it's going to be sexually charged sets. I've seen some of the comedians. Some of them I picked them for that particular reason because of the style of comedy they do.
You're talking about Robin Haney?
Oh, I love Robin. She's one of my favorites.
She's very sexually charged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as soon as I battled the sexist, I was like, I know I want Robin. I don't know who else, but I want Robin.
Robin rules. She's been on the show.
Aced.
She's going back on the show. Everybody on that lineup actually sounds fantastic. And how much are tickets?
It's $10.
$10, and that's $10 for a whole night of laughs and competition. What does the winners get? Are we going to actually find out who's the better sex?
Yeah, well, we'll crown the winner, male or female. So, I mean, it'll probably end up being a male. So we'll have to listen to y'all fucking.
That's not the spirit, but statistically, yeah.
I mean, statistically.
Aced.
See how she's already just trying to play the victim? Oh, probably be a male. All right, Jesus.
Aced.
Oh man. But and a portion of our ticket sales are going to the Smash Dance Studio to fund scholarships for underprivileged children.
So what is Smash Dance all about?
It's a dance studio. They have dance classes for kids and adults. They just do different types of. They have like your different types of dance genres. So we're excited to be helping fund that for underprivileged children. Buffalo Wild Wings will also be on site selling wings. 100% of Buffalo Wild Wings proceeds will go to the Uvalde Boys and Girls Club.
Hey.
Aced.
So we're doubling up on charities on this show, and we're also doubling up on shows. So Battle of the Sexes starts at 8. At 9, 2 doors down, will be the Degenerate Hour.
Very nice. So, question on that. Is that something that they had already set up beforehand with the charity, or is that something that you had set up and reached out to do?
Buffalo Wild Wings. I knew Buffalo Wild Wings was looking for venues to set up to do the charity.
Mm-hmm.
And actually one of my best friends works at Buffalo Wild Wings. So she was like, hey, my best friend Dieta is doing comedy shows. Like, let's link this up. So pretty much any venues we do where they don't have food already, we'll probably have Buffalo Wild Wings out there.
Oh, interesting. In the future. So,
Aced.
about the charity angle, is that something you're going to try to do with all your shows, or is it just kind of it just worked out that way that you have two going at the same time?
It just worked out that way, but it's something we had already planned our December show to be a charity show.
Oh, fantastic.
So and that's one of the things I started a Facebook group too called Chuckles for Charity.
Very good. Shout out to that.
Aced.
I have some comedians in there, and trying to do last month we went out and we helped feed the homeless. I have another event scheduled for next weekend to go and feed a Thanksgiving dinner, to underprivileged families. So I try to do some kind of community work with the Chuckles for Charity at least once a month. So being able to also add in charity to our shows, because that's another thing that I'm passionate about is giving back to the community and helping people.
It sounds like that. It sounds like in a lot of everything you're talking about, especially even with the shows, the comedy community and all that kind of stuff. When did you start getting into that? I'm sorry, just like not activism, but I guess outreach and stuff like that.
Doing charity work or get with the comedy community?
Oh, just in general, I guess. I guess you probably started it already, and when you came to the comedy stuff, it kind of was probably just something that you're already doing, I'd assume.
Yeah. No, I've been doing volunteer work for a long time. My kids were in Cub Scouts. When I lived in Lafayette, there was an organization called Lafayette. What was it? I can't remember now. It was an organization where we did support. It was like a support group for single mothers. We would do like a dinner with them once a month and provide them with household goods that they needed. So charity work in general, I've just been involved in for a long time. It's always been something that's fed my soul, is to help others.
All right, changing gears. Since you've been in the scene, booking shows and stuff, have you gotten any blowback from any directions?
No, not really. I mean, I think one advantage I had is I had already been. I started dabbling in the San Antonio comedy scene almost 3 years ago, and and only with the last year that I really dove all the way into it. But a lot of people, before I ever tried or had any ambitions to do anything in comedy, I kind of had a rapport already with people. Everyone knows I've been a supporter. I've been out here just loving y'all. So I think that's maybe bought me a little grace. Plus, my ambitions is to elevate this community as a whole. It's not a selfish ambition. Our thing with Flash Laughs is rising tides raise all ships. So we're trying to elevate everyone. It's not a me or an us thing.
That's exactly why I assumed you had some blowback, because there's a lot of people here that spend a lot of time trying to manage other people's success in the scene.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I haven't had, not yet anyways. Maybe at least not to my face.
What do you mean manage people's success?
Like people going around talking to venues and club owners, like behind.
I did that one time to you, bub. All right, but it was true. You fucking stunk up the toilet. I was like, if you book this motherfucker, you're gonna have to buy a plunger, and I mean like a real plunger, okay? Because this motherfucker, and he's gonna be embarrassed about it.
It wasn't that bad.
It was fucking horrible, dude. You like I don't know.
Courtesy flushed.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
Well,
I always courtesy flush.
All right, whatever, dude. It's stupid. But yeah, go on. So, who's been shit talking you this time?
Oh no, I'm not trying to go specifically.
I know, I'm just teasing. But yeah, no. So, you never had anybody go over behind your back and say, "Diet is a real so and so." She doesn't respond to my DMs.
Other than me.
Not yet. Or at least not that I know of. I mean, I'm sure eventually it'll happen, but and as far as people trying to snake me out of venues or whatever, I'm one of my favorite words is pronoia.
See, what I'm gonna do is go to Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm like, you think that she's got some crippled kids? I got the most cripplest kids you've ever seen. My co-host is half black.
Yep.
Yeah, and then also Smash Dance. I'll show them my moves and all that, and I'll be like, "Come on, well, you're gonna trust that? Look, she can't even do the robot."
Well, I have diabetes, which makes me technically disabled.
Well, see, there you go. We're double for trouble.
Yeah, I don't feel like being diabetic gives me enough disabled cred. I should be on like all sorts of disabled shows, but nobody books me.
Well, we need to get you lopping off some fingers or something like that, dude. You need to lose a foot, like now. Maybe that would help. Maybe if we lose a foot, you get a couple extra years of eating like Cheetos every morning.
Coming soon to Flash Laughs, we'll be doing a comedy show in support of Bub's diabetes.
Yeah. Bub's foot will be opening.
Yeah. That's what I want to hear.
Wouldn't that suck if your foot got more credits than you? Because they don't even want to have you on the show. They're like, we'll just have his foot, please.
Open a comedy page for my foot.
Hello, you're on Bad First Impressions, caller. What's your first and last? No, just your first name. How you doing?
Hello, my name is Red Boyu.
Hey, how you doing, Red, man? How you doing today? You listen to the show?
Yes, I'm a big fan.
Oh, well, I know that's a lie. So, what's on your mind
I'm
today,
a big
Red?
fan of you, Alonzo Jenkins, and that Bob Cantu. You guys are really funny.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what we're going to call our genetically created children that I've been working on.
Hell yeah, Bob Cantu.
Now,
the worst
the
of both
reason
of
I'm
us.
calling is for the redhead in studio.
Okay. So, I'm also redheaded, sir. So, which one of us? Is it going to be me or Dieta around to pull out the redhead wig for Bub that I put on him sometimes? What are we doing today?
Surprise me.
All right, dealer's choice. So, Dieta, I think he's probably talking about you. You've got a lot of creepers. What do you do to attract these? How do you do to ask for it? What are you wearing? Not now, but I mean, when you're getting these DMs. Sheesh.
Wait a second.
Now, do you got a boyfriend, Dieta?
Oh, my God.
I do not.
Is this
Then why don't you respond to my DMs?
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that. Yeah. So, Red, what question do you got for Dieta? Is it really why she's not gonna respond to you?
Would she respond maybe if my brother messaged her?
Who's your brother?
Oh, you know, Blue Boy.
Blue Boy, you. Is he related to Drew Blues?
He might be. He might be that damn brother of mine
All right.
trying to steal my woman's.
All right, this son of a bitch. All right, anything else on your mind, Red?
That'd be it, man. I just want to thank you guys for doing what you do, and I'm a big fan. Keep it up, guys.
All right, man. Well, thanks a lot. Keep listening and call us in next time. Let us know how you're feeling. And hopefully, Dieta's you've changed her mind and swayed her. Maybe she just hasn't heard your voice yet, and now that she's heard this beautiful accent of yours, I think she's pulling out her phone right now.
Well, before you get off, I want to let you say,
Blocking you as we
keep
speak.
blazing, stay amazing. I just came up with that.
That's a Bub Jenkins original.
You're so witty, Bub. You're so witty. All right, bye, guys. I gotta tend to my farm.
Bye.
All right, have
You're
a
on
good one.
Farmers Only, Dieta.
Tend to your hose.
Whatever.
All right. Well, that was fun.
Who do you really think that was?
Who do I think I was?
Van Dang?
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Yeah. I got a hankering suspicion.
Yeah. Because I think Haney would have went a different direction.
Shit. Don't blow up that spot. And also, the president's not allowed to call in for a fucking week because he cheated on me with the BFR podcast.
yeah.
And he can't even, you know what? He's going to be like, well, it's because you were on there. That's the only reason I would ever go on those bums podcasts. And you know what? That's why he's the president, because he'll spin it like that. So, you know.
El Presidente.
Yeah, I don't know. So, are you gonna move into the podcasting realm? What are you thinking about that?
I don't know. We've kind of thrown the idea around, but right now it's not a front burner kind of thing. Because we got Flash Laughs, Grabby's doing Inebriated, Dickinson. Well, it's Shakespeare, but
Oh, that's him. Oh, very good. I know that Sam Haney and Robin Haney are part of that. Fantastic. When's that going to be? Is that going to be soon?
yeah, they're gonna have multiple shows. It's gonna be every Friday, I think, in the month of December.
These sons of bitches. I was asking Robin to fucking. And I was just asking the group. I was asking the group, hey, I'm trying to do this thing with the Christmas Carol, and they're already doing a Dickinson thing. I'm like, you guys would be perfect for it. You're already doing a Dickinson thing. They're like, oh, we're doing this. I'm like, I didn't even tell you what day it was. You gotta wait till I tell you what day it is before you say no.
Apparently they don't.
Yeah. No. So what day is it again? I'm sorry.
But I think it's every Friday in December at the Artisan is when he has the Inebriated Shakespeare shows.
Oh, that's beautiful. So it's a weekly thing. We got to go check that out. That sounds fun as hell, dude.
I'm super excited to watch them all get drunk and try to recite the play. I think it's going to be pretty hilarious.
Very good. Inebriated Shakespeare, and people can see that at the
Artisan.
The Artisan. Very good. Very good. Yep. I call it the Fartisan because they haven't booked me in a while.
Do you know what time?
Let me look it up right now.
said Fartison, in case nobody heard that. Let's see. So we got the Flash Laughs plugs out. Yeah, so with the charity kind of thing, like I was saying, so how'd you get into that? Was there anything in particular that sparked that? Unless it's too kind of personal, you don't want to...
No. There's nothing particular. I just, I don't know. For whatever reason, I love people. So, and I say that because, you know, I know a lot of people hate people just because of their experiences in life. And I've had some pretty shitty experiences, I'm not going to lie. But still in all, at the end of the day, I love people. I think a lot of people, part of the reason why they are the way they are is just because they've never experienced kindness. So
very nice.
I heard something similar from an OnlyFans model on a different podcast. Do you have an OnlyFans?
No. I do not.
All right. Yet, man, and that's always true. And all of us can say that. All of us don't have one. Well, not all of us, but everybody in the studio, I guess, apparently.
I have one.
Oh, well, thank you. I thought it was called Only Hams.
I actually didn't realize what OnlyFans was when I signed up for it. So I was like, oh, I could maybe push my comedy on this platform. Then I realized there's like nothing but porn models. I was like, I guess I'll just subscribe to a couple.
Yeah, well, I'm here, you know. You want to support the scene because you're like, hey, you know, rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah.
I heard that from Dieta.
If I ever do decide to start an OnlyFans, I know I have at least one subscriber already.
Who, Bub? Or the other guy?
No. Someone asked me, they're like, do you have an OnlyFans? And I was like, no.
Somebody else?
Yeah, somebody.
Fucking dude stole my idea.
Stole your line.
And he was like, do you have OnlyFans? And I was like, no. And he's like, oh, I wanted to subscribe. And I was like, well, if I ever start it up, I'll let you know, buddy.
Yeah.
You got to test it out, though. Be like, would you be willing to pay like $30 a month?
Right. What are we talking here, monetary-wise?
Yeah, that's a good point. You really did miss out on a good negotiation there, you know. But, hey, sometimes opportunities are meant to be passed by. So, anything in the news got your attention? I know you're not you don't do the comedy stuff, but anything that's got your attention lately?
In the news, I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't pay attention to it. Because
what do you think of the Israel-Palestine conflict?
I do not pay attention to it. At the point where it got to where I had to start fact-checking the news, I said, you know what? I'm not fucking watching this shit anymore. I can't watch the news and then figure out whether the news is telling the fucking truth or not. I don't have time for it.
Yeah, that is a extra step too far, definitely. That's why the trick is you just find the news station that tells you what you want to hear and then just let them say what you like to hear back to you. And, you know, you're just like, that feels good.
Yeah.
My opinions.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's the thing about me too, is I like to challenge myself. I like to see things from all sides, get all views, and then try to develop a decision from there. So in the news, just it's all bullshit. One way or the other, they're just regurgitating whatever the fuck the people that watch them want to hear.
What about any kind of pop culture news? Any kind of guilty pleasures? I know I'm kind of guilty of. I get into the drama stuff on YouTube a lot. Do you ever get anything like that you're?
No, unfortunately, when it comes to like TV watching and stuff, I'm pretty boring. Like I hardly ever watch TV. I'm usually on the go. I mean, I work my full-time job at USAA. A lot of times I
Shout out.
All right.
The greatest insurance company in the world.
Jesus, bub, they owe us money now. What the fuck? All right.
Oh. But yeah, and then I get off, and I mean, a lot of times I'm out. If I'm not out with comedy, I'm out with friends. I'm not a sit-at-home type of person. So, I guess my guilty pleasure is just getting out of the fucking house. I like to get out and live life and experience life. So my TV watching is almost next to nothing. I watched a movie last night, or the night before last, with my daughter for the first time, and I don't even remember the last time when I watched TV.
All right, this might be a change of direction. But did you get that last email I sent you? We don't work directly together, but we do kind of work together.
Yeah.
You got that last email where my supervisor's threatening to write me up?
Oh, no, I didn't see that one.
Oh, yeah. He said because I don't put people on hold. I was like, you can write somebody out for that?
Or you put them on mute?
Wait, what do you mean you don't put them on hold?
He's saying that when I'm on calls, I'll leave the mic open and I'll just kind of talk and mumble through what I'm doing until I get to wherever it is where they give them the information they want. He's like, if you don't put people on hold, I'm going to write you up. I'm like, why? He's like, do you think they want to hear the fucking USA music constantly for the next 10 minutes?
Yeah, no, most people prefer not to be on hold because when you're on hold, it feels like you're being ignored. If you have an open thing, whenever they're doing QA for me, they're like, this is such a stupid conversation.
It's thrilling. The life of fucking telephone workers.
But I guess you didn't get the email, bub. We'll talk about it later. Son of a bitch.
But yeah, I was just seeing whether or not, I was like, can someone actually write you up for that?
I don't know, that's weird. I also prefer to put people on hold. I don't want them to listen to me breathe and shit while I'm trying to look up stuff.
Well, and that's just so I can like ask them questions too without having to take them off.
Yeah, yeah.
It seems like it'd be better to keep them off hold as much.
All right, well, we got a question. Hey, call in if you prefer to be on hold or if you'd like to hear Bubs breathing into your microphone. Caller,
let him call in and immediately put him on hold.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Did it make you feel wanted? Now, Bub, breathe into the mic. Yeah. Click, clack, click, clack. Jesus Christ, Bub. I know you will get counted off for coughing. I know that's a thing. For clearing your throat unless you apologize. Like any of that stuff, you got to apologize.
Not at our job.
Yeah, I don't have that issue. Thank God.
Yeah. Well, because you already got them on the hook probably by the time they're talking to you.
Got them by the balls.
Yeah, exactly. That's always you always get the worst customer service when you gotta go someplace.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I do call, if I do any of that, it's an automatic thing for me to be like, say excuse me. But I'm just glad no one's telling me.
All right. Let's see. 1 second. Hello, you're on Bad First Impressions Live with Bub Jenkins and Dieta.
Hello, how's it going? How's everybody doing?
Oh, I think I know who this is. 1 second. Just Bub, Dieta, do you guys know who this is on the phone right now?
Is this number 45?
1 second.
Mr. 45?
And 46, that's right.
1 second. Give me 1 second. I don't even know if I should do this.
It's the former president?
Shush. I don't know if I should even do this.
Shut your mouth. Nasty woman, be quiet. How dare you?
I don't even want to do this. I'm doing this only out of respect for the office right now. You have no idea.
Wow, look at that. Look at all the colors in the sky. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you brought out all the stops for me. Thank you very much.
Always.
I don't love that you don't have a contact card for me. Why don't you have a contact card? Did you upgrade to iOS 17? Where's my contact card? I sent you a meme. I sent you a photo. What happened?
Oh, I had your contact card. I saw who it was. I love
it.
So what? You're just gonna calling into every Tom, Dick, and Harry podcast in San Antonio now? Is that what your new platform is,
my
President?
Lord, here we go.
Is that your presidential platform? Huh?
I didn't know I was calling into Maury. I didn't know I was calling in to a midday schlock television show. I'm going to switch over to Unsolved Mysteries. I'm much more interested in the things that are unknown, not the known.
Mm-hmm.
What can I say? I'm the president. I have a lot to do. I'm a busy guy, but I can't seem to do any of it because I have to call all these people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, you're never going to hear from me again if you keep that attitude.
Oh, you know what? Those BFR guys can't even vote. They're dirty Mexicans, Trump. And what? You're going to waste your damn time over there talking to them? You built a wall between our friendship. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
Here, Alonzo, I tried to pardon those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But they told me the rap sheet on these guys is so large, you can turn it into a ship and sail back to Cuba with it. And I said to him, I said, but these guys, they're funny. They're not number one. They're not they're not bad first impressions.
That's true.
And I'm all about, look, if there's anything that Donald Trump is about, it's about the San Antonio comedy community and keeping everybody together, keeping everyone happy, because my father always said to me, son, there's a couple of things you're going to do in life. You're going to become president. You're going to skate through several sexual harassment claims. And you're also going to support small-scale comedy scenes throughout the United States to include those podcasts that those small-scale comedy scenes seem to produce. What can I say? And I've stood by my word. I've done all three of those things. I tried to have Stormy Daniels murdered. I tried to put her inside of a theater in New York City, chained up. And then I was going to be in a cage behind the curtain, and they were going to open the curtain, and I was going to rattle my chest at her. I said, put her in the chains. I want to grab her. I want to carry her up to the Empire State Building. I want to fall in love. I want to put her against my hairy chest. But they wouldn't let me do it. Are you playing me off? Is this what's happening?
I just wanted to have a little bit of background music, President. A little background music for you.
I appreciate that. Now, who's on the show today?
Well, we got Dieta on here. She stole flash laughs from Bub, and we decided to have her on to talk about that.
Oh, Dieta. Beautiful lady.
Have you been in her DMs?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Look, I do not kiss and tell, but I may have slid into her DMs. Diana, listen, I understand when we're not friends, you may not see the friend request, but I need you to take a look at your DMs because I reached out, I sent you my line, I said, call me up, D. And I said, I don't know if you go by D, but between you and me, you're D. What can I say? We are talking to, it's wonderful to be because I'm talking to the First Lady of Comedy. This is incredible. And she's going to be the First Lady in more than one way. I've been told that she may be the funniest woman in San Antonio. And she doesn't even perform on stage.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Look, it's very easy. Let's be honest. The bar is very low.
Trump, it's always beautiful to hear you have respect for women. You know.
I do. I have respect for about 3 women. I have respect for my daughter. I have respect for Baron, and I have respect for Dieta. What can I say?
Oh, thank you. I feel so privileged.
I just wanted to let you all know right now the service may be in or out because right now I'm spelunking. I'm in a cave in Matamoros, Mexico. We're going as deep as possible. What we're trying to find are human samples because it is said that there is a subsurface community of humans living at the river basin in Matamoros. And so we're trying to dig deep. We're trying to find all these people because we want to know what's going on in the core. Because as you know, the core is not what they say it is. It is not magma. It's not molten. It is, in fact, an epicenter of baby rapists and Hollywood elites. And we're trying to get to the bottom of it, quite literally. We're trying to get to the bottom.
You will leave that alone, Donald. That is where I go to party. That is where I go to party, and you will leave that place alone, Donald, if you wish to beat my favorite son, Joe Biden, in the election. You will leave my subterranean fuck layer alone. That's where I chill with the real Jeffrey Epstein and his twin brother that nobody knows about. And we do lines of cocaine the size of Dieta. That's right.
This is incredible. This is incredible. Who invited Jeb Bush to the show? Oh my God, this is incredible. This is unbelievable. What can I say? It's a pleasure to hear from you again. You remember when I wiped your ass on the floor at the debates back in 2016? I told everybody. I said,
Gosh, I'm sorry, President.
I told everybody. I said he's gay, and they said we know. And I became the president. What can I say?
That was a great night. I was on a lot of Quaaludes. So
we did. We shared a lot. It was wonderful. Look, I gotta tell you guys. I think we're about to crack through the tertiary layer. We're getting deeper.
I can hear you.
And
Fucking stop it.
I'm knocking on your door. I'm
fucking
knocking on
quit
your
it.
door.
I thought you were Uber Eats.
I'm telling you,
Donald?
Robert Kennedy is with me. Robert Kennedy is with me, and he has a boombox, and he's ready to come down and play Pantera to wake you up from your slumber.
Well, if you're gonna
So you can.
be down here anyway, did you bring wraps? I want to see
I
a
will.
doobie. I want to get real high and listen to
I
Pink
will.
Floyd's The Wall. When was the last time you listened to The Wall, Donald? Remember?
I was doing Quaaludes with John F. Kennedy. He's not dead anymore. He's still alive.
And
I was
with
doing
you.
Quaaludes with the guy.
I was holding
That's
your
right, you
hand. We wore footprints in the sand, Donald. When you were doing Quaaludes with Kennedy, I was there, taking extra ones. You blamed it on John F. Kennedy, but it was really me, stealing the Quaaludes and sowing the discontent.
That's right, because then you picked me up and you put me in your arms and you carried me into your bedroom. And you laid me down. You laid me down on the banister. And we made the deepest love I've ever made.
It was beautiful, Donald. I whispered sweet
It was
nothings
beautiful.
into your asshole. I whispered,
That's right.
I whispered the secrets of the universe into your chocolate starfish. And then I tongued your orange testicles back when they were beautiful and they looked like a nice coin purse. You used to have the most beautiful testicles, Donald. Now they droop and they bring you great shame. But I still
This is
like to play
true.
with them like Laffy Taffy between my fangs.
That's right. You tickled my flesh purse with your tongue, and it made that little tinkling noise that you hear in Tom and Jerry. I don't know what they use it instrumentally, but it makes that noise. It makes that little tickling noise. Look, I'm getting hot and bothered right now, and I'm telling you. I know I can't stay mad at you either. We're kind of like when South Park depicted Saddam and the devil. It kind of feels like that, you know. I'm like your little fuck doll. And you're my master. That's right, you're the master.
What do you think they based that on? Reality.
That's right. That's right. They foresaw. Those guys, I gotta tell you, as satirists go, they are number one. They are really the best.
Now get down here, Donald. I'm gonna use my satanic magic to put a new asshole where your heart used to be. I'm gonna fuck
That's
it.
right. That's right. All right, we've got Danny Masterson in the front of the line. It's me and Robert Kennedy in the back. We'll be down there. We'll see you in a moment. It's been a pleasure.
We'll
That's
throw him
right.
that
We're gonna
70s show, and he'll tell us all the times that they.
I told you. I said Scientology first, Danny Masterson second, and then it's the world. That's what I said. I said the world. All right, we're on our way in. It's been a pleasure talking with all of you. I'll see you and all of you in hell
We shook
later.
the world, Donald. We shook the world.
Yeah, that's right. All right, keep it sleazy, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it sleazy.
Oh my gosh.
Bye-bye.
That was Satan again and the president.
You never know who's going to call in.
Well, you could say that, but he always calls in. So now,
Our most important fan.
yeah, I mean it is. How do you think we kept the show on YouTube for so long?
That's true.
Yeah. So Dieta, how you feeling so far? I saw you're making important messages, just letting people know that you're safe, that we don't have any kind of guns to your head right now.
Yeah, no, my daughter actually sent me a message. She asked, she wanted to know why you keep playing the Ace from League of Legends on the podcast.
Is that what that's from?
Yeah.
Aced.
Hell yeah! I never knew.
I was like, because he does, like, when he's something said or whatever that he likes, he presses the button. And then she said, tell him 1v1 me. And then she goes, JK, I don't like hurting egos anymore.
Oh shit.
Aced.
See, I don't play child's games like Fortnite. I play man's games like what do I play? I play
Crash Bandicoot.
I play Crash Bandicoot. Dude, I was killing Crash Bandicoot. You saw me, dude. I
Yeah.
fucking whooped ass at that game. It's so good. Let's play some Crash Bandicoot right now. I think the audience wants to hear me play Crash Bandicoot. Put a hurting
Just
on
stream
Crash.
it. Just stream it. Don't even put video up. Just play it and let everybody listen to the audio.
Yeah. Well, shout outs to Dieta's daughter. I'm glad that you're playing video games. See, when I was growing up, my parents said, Alonzo, if you want to make money off of video games, you have to learn how to make them. Nobody will you don't make money playing video games and all that. Yeah. So now you're living my dream. Play video games and try to make money streaming it because it's the easiest thing that anybody can do. I know that thousands of millions of people are doing it, but you know what? They all suck. all it takes is one person that doesn't suck, and then they get $1 million. Dieta taught me that. Dieta, you seem like a rich person.
Yeah, totally.
This fur coat that you're wearing, the jewels that you lavish yourself in. You can move it. You have to unscrew the thing if you're going to adjust it at the top.
Somehow I knocked it down again.
That's all good. It's fine. It's a durable mic.
That's good.
Yeah. So, and if you ever break it, I'll just ask John to borrow one of his mics, and I'll switch it out.
That works.
The old switcheroo. But so, Bub, what's on the TV? You're getting distracted by is it I don't want to say is it war stuff?
Oh no, I'm not distracted. I was just listening to what the other was saying. I was thinking, it's like, should I bring up John? Well, since you were on the topic of John and borrowing the mics, but then I was like, it's not the right time.
Oh, what happened?
No. I was just thinking. I was going to ask, like, did John and Jimmy show up last night for the mic? Were they there?
No, I didn't see him last night.
Oh. That's all I was thinking. I was like, it's not that important thing. But now that Alonzo put me on the spot, like,
you're just gonna ask the question. You're just curious about it offhand. It's like another email question. Yeah, I got it.
Last night the Crazy Ape was actually I think it was the slowest night we've had, but it was cold.
Oh yeah, the weather's been shit.
Yeah,
lately.
so I was kind of it was still kind of a crazy night though. Of course, we had Ethan took his shirt off. Joseph Corona took his shirt off. Who else? Someone else.
Corona's built like fucking.
Alex Faircloth. I don't know. Guys always end up stripping at the Ape Shit comedy mic. I don't know what that's about.
That's not like a big deal though. For guys to take off their shirts, the alcohol.
Yeah, I know. Well, we've had asses out before too.
Yeah.
And then
Corona's
Jose
built like
Arnellas just set up a fucking makeshift barbershop right out there on the patio at the Crazy Ape and fucking faded up Alex Faircloth and Ethan just out there fucking cutting hair. I was like,
How much was he charging?
I think like $50 for a haircut.
$50?
Yeah, I think. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I heard.
Yo, what the fuck are we doing this podcast for, dude? Go get me some clippers. I got some clippers.
Yeah, for real.
$50, dude. I'll do it for 45. I'll be out there.
like,
Dude, we'll be out there next door on the other side of it, $45 haircuts.
Right?
Yeah.
On the other side of the fucking Crazy Ape.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. And we'll also sell burgers, too.
Yeah.
It's a free economy. It's a free stupid.
Yeah, I was just like, all right.
Buy a burger, get a haircut, $40.
Right.
Man, that's genius. I love that idea. Somebody cutting hair outside. That just seems cool. I want to go if I can get a tattoo there next week.
He's like, help out these dirty hippies.
Yeah. See if I can get a tattoo artist out there to start giving us tattoos and shit.
Hey, Preacher. Do you got any tattoos?
Yeah, I do.
Very cool. Very cool. I don't know. I don't even think that. No. I'm not gonna lie. Dieta, you have been giving me nothing. You're on your phone. You're making me feel like so horrible. I'm just teasing. I feel so awkward because I feel like you're being very polite and nice, and I'm sickening you with the constant chain smoking and beer drinking. I think that's just my own internal monologue.
That is your own internal monologue.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, no,
If you look on her Facebook page, just nothing but beer drinking and partying at bars with her friends. A bunch of drunken debauchery.
Yeah, sometimes I live the life of a frat boy, but and then sleep for 5 hours and go to work.
That's beautiful. And so, let's say another thing that you're excited about with the Flash thing. I know that you have the Battle of the Sexes show coming up. Isn't there another show going on that night?
At the same time, it starts at 9, the Degenerate Hour.
The Degenerate Hour, okay. And so, who's on that, and what's that all about?
We have Eddie G's headlining that one.
Mm-hmm.
Patty Melt's going to be on that one. Adrian Van Ding's going to be on that one. Grabby is going to be on that one. And let me double check. So that one's only going to be an hour show, though. It's not as long as the other, as the Battle of the Sexes show, obviously. I feel like I'm missing someone, though. I, unfortunately, am not great at always keeping track of everything and everybody. I'm kind of like almost like an absent-minded professor sometimes. If I told Bub I can't find my fucking car keys right now. No clue where they're at. Last time I knew they were in this jacket, but they're not in there now. I've left the house before to go do something, and I'll go do 10 other things and then go home and be like, God damn it, I didn't do what I left the house for. Okay, so we've got Eddie G headlining, Ethan Martinez, Grabby, Adrian Van Ding, Patty Melt, and Bob Dell is going to host.
Fantastic. Bobby Diesel.
So, and
Shout out Bob Diesel.
it's just a no holds bar, say what, I mean, it's the Degenerate show. So, you know, whatever the fuck they want to say.
So which charity is that money going to?
The same two charities.
Very nice. Very nice.
Both. Both shows are at the same spot. They're just a couple doors down from each other. So we'll have Buffalo Wild Wings there for both shows, and then proceeds from the ticket sales for both shows will also go to Smash Dance.
Beautiful. Very good. Very good. Well, congratulations on that.
Ace.
I can't wait to go out and see that, and that's on a
Oh, what are you on a
Thursday.
Oh no, that's Saturday night. That's
Saturday night.
November
Fantastic.
18th on a Saturday night.
So we'll be promoting the fuck out of that, and everybody can listen to the show and then go out and we'll go do that, and we'll go check out the Flash Laughs thing. I think that's going to be a bad ass.
Yeah, I greatly appreciate it. We appreciate all the support. We've actually got a lot of support from the community and everything, so that has been fantastic.
Also, I think I'm nervous about the Tozzi call and all that too. So I'm just like, also I think projecting a lot of that nervousness and stuff like that too. And also, this is the first time me and Dieta have really ever sat down and hung out and stuff. And she came into my dirty house. She was like, I can tell she's very closed in. She doesn't want to catch something from the walls and all that. Yeah, luckily I got it fumigated last week. It was pretty bad before. It's less embarrassing right now, but. This is, oh man, know what happened? See that door right there? I'm pointing at my wood closet door. It's one of those shitty wood sliding doors. Earlier today, right before Bub came through, the thing fell over and almost knocked over all of this shit. It literally fell over and knocked over that thing, and it stopped it, and this thing just kind of bumped into it. And I was like, I thought, freaking the Lord was trying to get some revenge on me for all the blaspheming I do on a regular basis. I was like, yeah, nice try, God. Nice try. Almost ruined the show, but
made sure to do it before I showed up.
yeah, exactly. The Lord. Yeah, maybe it was Bub that stopped him. Maybe like Bub. It was about to happen, but Bub came into the parking lot. And
Maybe it was me. He was trying to stop. I tend to get called a white devil. So.
A white devil?
Yeah.
By people other than Clifton?
Hanging out with the brothers?
That was actually Ethan was the last one to call me that last Saturday. We were at Raptitude, Jose Ornales' new Saturday open mic. And I was trying to get some more people out there, and Ethan didn't want to go, and I coaxed him into it, and he was like, all right, you white devil. Raptitude, it's kind of like the Selma area. Like, it's kind of in between New Braunfels and North San Antonio. Like, I think it's Selma, I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
it's a Saturday mic that he's doing now. Sign up starts at 6:30, and then the show starts at 7. So, but yeah.
Maybe. Oh, wait, is that a clean show?
It's not. It's a little weird because it is a restaurant and they do have kids there, but the restaurant said, say whatever you want. So it's an interesting dynamic because the guys have carte blanche to say what they want, but they're also kind of don't want to say what they want because there's, kids there. But they still said some of what they want. It's interesting. It was interesting. It was a fun night, though. We had a fun night.
What time does that one start?
Sign-up start at 6:30, and then the mic starts at 7.
Oh, shit, that's super early.
Mm-hmm. It's like a sandwich shop. The name of it's Raptitude.
Really? Raptitude. I'll have to check that out. The sandwiches ain't good?
I actually didn't eat anything last time I was there, but...
Come on, Dieta. You run shows. You know you got support.
Well, This is true. Truth be told, because I'm great at losing everything, I also lost my debit card. So if I can't mobile pay currently, I can't pay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I lose everything. I would lose my fucking head if it wasn't screwed on. So it's terrible. I have a tile on my keys, but apparently the battery's dead. I realized when I tried to use my tile app to find my fucking keys.
Oh, the battery on the tile?
Yeah.
What the fuck? How does that even make sense? Shouldn't it be like what? So how long do they last?
I don't know. I didn't know the battery was dead. So I went to open my app to find my keys, and it was like, oh, the battery's dead.
Can you charge them? Is that how that thing works?
No, it's got like those little silver flat batteries.
The watch batteries.
Wow.
Yep.
That's dope.
So, but yeah, it's so funny because when it comes to certain things like work or like something I'm trying to do, like flash laughs, like I'm great, like I'm on it. I got my shit together, and when it comes to just like everything else in life, I'm just a fucking hot mess sometimes.
Do you think you got a lot of stress? Do you deal with a lot of stress in your life?
I think, I mean, not really. I mean, not even. I mean, I've definitely had way more stress in my life than I have now. I think I'm just like, I don't know. Some people, and I don't know if it's true or it's whatever, but like some people say, think I have ADHD. I don't know. I've just like I said, I've left the house to go do something and went and did 10 other things, and then went home and been like, motherfucker, I didn't do what I left the house to do.
I've been doing that.
I just get sidetracked. Like I'm like squirrel, 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 squirrel.
I would mean to buy a cord for that freaking my game controller and all that every time I leave the house. This past 2 weeks, I think now. Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. I'll get literally everything else that I need and all that. Yeah, it's like I need to get more cat food. I need to whatever.
I've literally like thought of something I need to do, like pay a bill or something, and I'll pick up my phone to go do it. And by the time I get my phone unlocked, I'm like, what the fuck was I about to do? God damn it!
Yeah, that happens to me a lot. I'll be like, hey, I need to pay my credit card online, and then I'll get caught watching porn.
Yeah, I mean, you know, porn's pretty distracting, so that's understandable.
What's your favorite type?
My favorite type of porn? Lesbian.
You look like a fan of bondage.
Lesbian porn.
Lesbian? Oh, yes. Bondage. Regular?
I mean, there's no...
White lesbians? Asian lesbians?
Just lesbians in general. I don't want to look at dudes' dicks.
Me either.
That's where we differ.
Call me old-fashioned.
Yeah, I don't know. I always feel like lesbian porn. There's no. I'm like. I just feel like they'd be frustrated. You know what I mean? It's like a kid trying to put a square peg into a round hole or something like that. Just constantly bumping against each other in frustration.
Well, actually, so it's so funny because me and my.
That's why there's so much lesbian domestic violence.
Me and my best friend were talking last night, and we were both. I was like, you know what? We should just fucking. Dating shit, we should just open this up, start dating women too. Like, you know.
Have you ever had a lesbian experience?
I have.
Oh, really?
Let's say, there we go.
I was like, we should just open this up and just start dating women too. Fuck it. Like, dating men hasn't been doing any good. And we were discussing like the pros and cons of this, right? And then I was like, and then too, you buy a strap-on, you can choose what size you want. You're not just stuck with whatever the fuck he came with.
Oh, that's a good point. You like mix it up. Where it's like, I want to get some dick, but I don't want a big dick today. You know what I mean? Just a little dick.
Right,
you know, also a little bit of dick today.
Yeah.
You know what? Now that you mention it,
You ever have a little dick day? You're like, I don't feel like a giant one. I just need something small. Like they'll fit in my purse.
I do not prefer a giant dick. So I know y'all have never experienced it, but feeling like someone's rearranging your fucking insides isn't the best feeling.
all the time, or do you think like once in a while you might ever?
No, it hurts. It's great in certain positions, and then especially like fucking doggy style, or when they want to put your legs on their shoulders, and it's like, bitch, you were already in my fucking lungs to start with. Now it's gonna come out through my fucking throat. Chill the fuck out. I don't like a big dick.
All right.
Average, I find is perfect for me.
What do you consider average?
About 6-7 inches.
Do you see this?
Jesus Christ, bub.
Get the measuring tape.
Special.
I hope my
was
kids aren't still listening.
yeah? So what are some of the other pros to the being a dyke?
We both know people that are in lesbian relationships, and the male of the relationship spoil.
I was thinking it'd be a good bit if we got gay married and just see how far we could take it.
Yeah, that would be great. But the tax benefits, though.
Oh yeah.
No, because I saw a law last night that in a couple states, we're not one of them, but you can actually get it annulled on the basis of a bet or or a prank kind of thing and all that. I forget. I think Washington's one of them, or Delaware. Delaware's got all the great, weird tax loopholes. But go on. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
It'd be like an epic prank. We've been gay married for like 3 years. I'm not even gay, bro.
We just love each other.
We just love each other a lot. No, we're just so we both have lesbian friends that are in relationships, and the male in the relationship spoils the absolute fucking shit out of the female in the relationship. So and me.
I hear they cheat a lot though too. I hear studs are notorious cheaters.
Oh really? I don't.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Oh yeah. It's like a meme.
Huh.
Oh yeah. All the dykes I know, they tend to go.
I mean, men cheat a lot too, so it makes sense.
I think it's almost they do it in a way to be more like masculine or something. Like and also you just can't trust lesbians, in my opinion. Especially around your wallet.
Damn it. Oh,
does anybody have Nina's number?
Yeah, because I'm saying they'll go to jail in a second. Think about it.
Yeah.
That's like heaven to a lesbian. I'm just teasing.
No, Nina's saying that she's never beat up another girl.
Who's Nina?
She called in. She goes to the cruise.
Oh, she called in?
Yeah, she called in a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I must have been wasted. Go on.
That's pretty safe.
Yeah.
Assumption.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway during the show? Yeah. Okay. So
you got called early to catch him sober.
Any other pros? Because I like this bit. It's good.
Pros, chances are you're going to have a lot of the same
Zandy
shit
said
in
a snack
common.
dick. That's good. What? A lot of shit in
Chances are
common?
you're going to have a lot of the same shit in common. Like to do things.
Do you find they're better at anything than regular straight guys?
Yeah. Giving head.
Okay. Are guys too aggressive about the head giving?
Sometimes. I don't know. It's hit or miss whether or not they have any clue what the fuck they're doing. I actually had a guy bite me once.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Got a little carried away.
I was like, what the fuck? And he was like, sorry, I got too excited. I was like, okay.
That's how you lose a lip. Yeah.
I bit a girl once, but it was on her thigh.
That's different. No, he bit me on my clit.
Whoa!
Wow.
Must be huge. He was like, I got to fight this thing now. Shocked him.
Just slapping him all in the face. Like, oh, God.
Yeah. It's almost like a micro penis. It's so big.
Oh, yeah?
Hell yeah, dude.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. I've been on the F to M, trans subreddit and all that because, I don't know, I guess regular porn ain't doing it for me anymore. But and, man, they got some monster clits, dog. And it's not, I'm like, man, I don't even know what's going on here, but all right, let's do it.
That's what happens when you watch too much porn. You get desensitized, and then nothing's ever good enough, and you got to keep looking and looking and looking and looking.
Yeah, I know.
Just preaching to the choir here.
I thought you might have some answers for me. What's the solution?
Take a fucking break from porn.
Get the fuck out of here. I'll start watching lesbian porn and just crying. It's like, this sucks. It'll be like eating my vegetables of porn. After you watch some lesbian porn, then you can watch some...
Did you watch your lesbian porn today?
Did you watch your lesbian porn today? I did, Mom.
And not hot lesbians. You need like a dyke in there.
Yeah. No, that would go a little too far to the F to M things. You know what I'm saying? It's but maybe that's how I'll transition out. I don't know. I was thinking, you can get on, what is it? You can get on Grindr, and then you get the F to M's, and that's supposed to be a hack out
Okay,
there.
I don't know what F to M means.
Female to male.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you
Come
talking
on.
about?
Dude, we're a very progressive podcast over here. You got to learn all the nomenclatures.
I'm sorry.
I forgive you now, dude, but it's not my job to do the homework for you. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. You got to accept me as a guy that's fucking dirty, degenerate, all right?
Yes. It is my fault.
lifestyle. So.
So, Alonzo's into FDM porn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if I call it porn, but definitely into the lifestyle. Yeah, I'm definitely into the music, the fashion, the pop culture icons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that Michelle Obama is a transsexual?
I do not.
You don't?
No.
Wouldn't it be funny if she was?
It would be fucking hilarious.
I would actually like Obama more if he was dating a dude and they were just like pulling a big prank on everybody.
Oh my God.
I'd be like, yo, he's the best president. Can we get him back again?
Right. No, I would love that, honestly.
Yeah, I'd be like, let's vote her in. This is dope.
Yeah,
Can we see the penis, please? Can we see the presidential? The first.
Have you ever watched I'm sure you've watched the videos though.
Oh, that's why I just saw one. Oh, I think Dan Zan sent it to me. He's always said. I think that's like the third time he sent me that. I'm like, I've seen it. It's the same pictures. It's like her coming out of some building, and you see
something flopping around.
Yeah, you see something flopping around like she's wearing gym shorts and all that. Yeah, but she's like wearing a dress, but you can see like the, I'm talking about.
Yes.
And then there's another one. I think she's like doing some sports. I think she's like just like grabbing herself. She's like readjusting herself.
Yeah, dude. If she has a dick, it is bigger than mine.
Maybe she's got a giant clit, dude. Who knows?
Maybe this shit's flopping around in her pants. Like on the. Have you ever seen the Helen one where she's dancing?
Oh,
it's just like,
I think maybe.
Yeah,
we
it's just
should
like
pull that
something's
up.
flopping around in her pants. It's like, what the fuck
I
is
haven't
that?
seen any of these. I'm gonna go home now and go into a fucking rabbit hole of watching.
Yeah, if we had a little more time, I'd love to pull him up. But I think hopefully Tozzi's going to call here in about 5 minutes or so. Yeah. So I want to kind of make sure that we get all the plugs out for Flash Laughs. And definitely if you stick around until after the interview, we'll get them out again and all that, plug them all. And yeah, man, I've loved having you in the studio and learning more about you and stuff. I love learning that you're into charities. Hopefully, maybe if you ever have some charities that would love to have a degenerate podcast like ours,
Charities, lesbian porn.
Yeah, anything we want to send our way. Yeah, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
We need a lesbian porn charity.
Dude, like dildos for dykes.
Yeah. Or like if you did the OnlyFans and just donate all the proceeds to a charity.
Yeah, no.
Jeez, Bub, you're not going to get her to do it. Buggy's getting so excited over here.
I'm just trying to link.
But it's great. He walked in here with a sinus infection. He's walking out of here with something. Jesus Christ.
I'm only
rhymes with infection now. Yeah. Jesus.
That's hilarious.
All right. That's a good one to end on. So I'm just really trying to water here. I might turn on a couple tunes and all that, guys. And let me see if I got any messages real quick that said, sorry, can't do it. Sorry, mate.
We need a Cody anyway.
Yeah. I like Cody being here. Cody's a very fun and energetic, charismatic kind of fella.
Oh, I got Gravy finally sent me in the information for Inebriated Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm. Very
It's gonna
good.
be every Friday, November 24th through December 29th. Doors open at 5, shows at 7, and it's going to be at the Artisan. And you can buy tickets online at inebriatedshakespeare.com/SATX.
Aced.
Hell yeah.
Now, curious with that scheduling, is Al still...
We keep on mentioning it. I don't think we ever described exactly what Inebriated Shakespeare is.
So typically they do Shakespeare plays. This time they're going to do the Christmas Carol by Dickinson. So it's also charity. And while you buy a ticket and you go, and then while they're performing the play, you donate money. For the money you donate, the actors have to drink. So they have to keep just getting drunker and drunker and drunker throughout the show. Grabby said he's never remembered a second act because he was so wasted. But that's the idea, is to get them as drunk as you possibly can, and they still got to try to perform the play, and then the money goes to charity.
All right, very good. Uber should also sponsor that. And the charity should be some kind of liver association.
I am not sure.
So with the scheduling like that, is Al still doing his show afterwards, or they just going on a hiatus until after December.
He's doing on Fridays.
Yeah, the other.
I honestly don't know anything about Big Al's intentions.
He's involved in that show though, right?
Yeah, well, he is like so. Initially, when Grabby asked me about a venue, and then I was just happened to be talking to Al a couple days later about the Artisan, and then I was like, Grabby's looking for a spot to do this, and he was like, set it up. So that's how Grabby got it, the Artisan, with Big Al doing the Inebriated Shakespeare. But I know he's like in conjunction with, and Al has a little bit of a hand in it, and he's the Setup Punch, Al's thing, comedy group. I'm not sure what he calls it, but he's like a sponsor of it. But as far as like if he's doing shows after or any of that, and he doesn't have a big hand in it, the actual production of the show and stuff. Grabby's been doing all the rehearsals and running everything.
Okay. And Grabby's parents are still involved, or were they just there for the? Because I showed up for the what was it?
Auditions?
Yeah, for the auditions. But I thought we were doing. I didn't understand what it was I was there for.
Yeah.
I thought we were setting up to do like improv. And then like we started off doing all the improv stuff. I was like, oh, I kind of like this shit. And then they were like, okay, now you got to remember lines. I was like, what? And I was like, I just thought the Inebriated Shakespeare was just like a artsy name. I didn't know that like you guys were actually planning on doing a play.
Oh, I got you.
I was like, oh, this is some hippie Austin shit for a name.
It's actually a really cool name, though.
It is. I just didn't know that it was like literally. And then I saw it was Dickinson. I'm like, what the fuck does this have to do with Shakespeare? I was like all confused.
Yeah.
How do you think you would? How do you think you would do in that if somebody forced you to do it? Not forced, because I don't think it'd be. I think you'd want to do it. I actually think you'd be good if you sat down and remembered the lines. I think it'd be pretty funny to see. But
well, I couldn't do the drinking. I'm diabetic.
I was literally about to say I don't think that would be good for you. Yeah, and also it's like you never really drank. Also, so I don't think your tolerance would be appropriate for it. It'd be pretty. I feel bad for you. Be in a bad place the next day.
Everything I do is in moderation. If I do drinks, it's like 2 drinks and I'm done.
Yeah.
Like.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's see. Trixie, shout out to Trixie Mitchelson. She loves this guest. And let's see.
What do you think of Trixie?
I love Trixie.
Everybody loves Trixie. Jeez. Let's see.
They all should be in jail.
Yeah, everybody loves Trixie. I fucking love Trixie.
Aced.
All right. And like I said, right now, kind of just treading a little water. We should be getting a call any moment from our main guest. I did say 1:30 Central Time, I think. So, and hopefully any moment we'll get a call from there. And what do you got planned for after the show, Dieta?
I'm not sure. Thinking about doing a little bit of thrift shopping, and I'll probably mosey on over to support Jose at his open mic. So if anybody, there was only 4 comics out last Saturday, so if anybody doesn't have anything to do, they want to go check it out, y'all should check it out. It's a cute spot. So.
And where's that at again?
It's Raptitude.
Is that the place at the bar?
It's a sandwich shop.
Oh, okay. Like they were saying, he was asking, are the sandwiches good? All right, now I get.
They do have food there as well, though. Let me see. I'll give you it is at, it doesn't actually have the address to the place on there. And then actually they have another one. Tim Dunn is doing the baked comedy tonight, open mic as well. That starts at 8.
Tim Dunn, who's that?
He's a photographer, but he also does comedy. He hasn't been doing it a lot lately, but
where's that at?
This one's going to be at Simply CBD.
Okay.
It looks like 2013 Austin Highway. They're just doing a one-off show. It's not a show, but it's an open mic for Veterans Day, and that one starts at 8. So I may catch Jose's and then head on over to Tim's. We'll see, because I also have a birthday party to go to.
Busy lady.
Yeah, this is my.
Whose birthday?
It's one of my friends. She's celebrating her birthday tonight at
She
Thirsty
hot and
Horse.
single?
Huh?
She hot and single?
Check and check.
Oh, talking about a bub connection, a love connection. So
You want to come on out to the Thirsty Horse with me tonight, bub?
No.
Jeez, he's always all talk. That bub is like
I
all
definitely am.
talk.
I
dude.
definitely am.
That's the worst thing. He's always like, I think I told the story before. We're at the bar and some like chick
This
walks
doesn't
up.
even count.
It does count. It all counts.
I never heard it.
Yeah, he just comes out.
We're
and
at Fuel Bar.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're at Fuel Bar, and I'm not gonna say who, but it wasn't anybody in the scene. It was like one of the bartenders. I don't think she works there anymore, but she walked out. She was kind of like, kind of like a Southern fried, bigger girl, not fat, but like thick. You know what I mean? Kind of like Anna Nicole, kind of, had the big old sloppy tits, hanging out of like a tight kind of whatever tank top. I don't know what you call that and all that. Tits looking like two big old slabs of fucking beef,
Yeah.
And Bub's all like, oh, that's the kind of girl that I go for. And I was all like, oh, yeah, word. And I was like, you should go talk to her. And he's like, oh, no, she's about to leave. Every excuse in the book.
She was literally sitting out there with another guy, like off.
No, she
together.
wasn't yet. She wasn't yet. She had not been doing that yet. She was, and either way, that's what I was saying. I was saying, well, she'd be all talked up with that guy and all that. You sit down there and just, I don't know. Figure out
Hey, what are you guys doing? I'm just going to sit
that's
down and
not how it
invite
works.
myself
You're at a
into the
bar. You're at a bar. You just chill at the table and all that. You just kind of make yourself part of the thing.
Just pull out your mic and be like, so are you two here together tonight, or?
No, but no. He's saying that he's trying to imply that she was with a guy. She was not with a guy. She had sat down and a guy had just started to talk to her. And he's all like, "Oh, now they're married." You know what I mean?
No, like that guy was sitting out there by himself, and then she went and sat with him. So I'm like, oh, they fucking know each other.
No, that's not even what happened. Well, either way, maybe we had
Honestly,
different.
though, but in his defense, that is a real thing, because like whenever I'm out with my guy friends, or when I'm out by myself, the amount of free shit that I get when I'm by myself is amplified. But when I'm out with my guy friends, like I just don't get approached as much.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying she didn't come there with that guy. She was a bar. That guy was just a dude that was there and all that. He just struck up a conversation. I think he was like a guy that was like a regular there, maybe. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like they were together. He was just a guy that goes to the bar, and then she was like got off her shit, and they were just talking and all that stuff. I was like, you were a comedian there. She was gonna stay for the comedy show. I was like, kind of chill there and just kind of. You don't gotta say nothing. Just kind of be around. You know what I mean? And kind of like listen to what the fuck they're talking about.
And I hear this, I'm like, that sounds very stalkerish.
It's not stalkerish because you're just already there. It's a fucking bar. Everybody's there. We're gonna be at that table anyway. But he's like, no, I'm gonna be on the farthest way apart from the place over here playing. What were you playing? Call of Duty or some shit? What's the CS:GO on your phone?
No, I don't have that game on my phone.
You're playing something on your phone.
Yeah,
You're playing some kind of phone game. I was like, I don't know, just like that's what I'm saying. When you're at a bar, that's something, dude. I talk shit to, and then you end up whatever, and you kind of figure out what's going on.
We're different people.
All right,
we gotta admit that.
Well, what's your style of game? Were you gonna wait for her to be completely by herself? How long did she gotta be by herself, bub, there before you're like, I'm gonna put my phone down and then walk over there before some other guy comes and talks to her?
More than 10 seconds.
More than 10 seconds. All right.
Like she walked from the bar, then she walked outside. We were outside, and then she like almost immediately sat down with this dude. And it's like
she sat down at the okay. It's not like they sat down. I don't even think that they sat down like side by side together. I wouldn't be like, "Oh, bub, go talk to this person." They were like it was like a mutual
they were facing
table.
each other.
It was a mutual table. They were on opposite sides of the table. They weren't even right across from each other. I don't think. Maybe like that, but it was. I don't know. You know what, bub?
It seemed way too intimate
explain to
for
me.
me to
Let's just say
walk
she
up.
was by herself. Okay, she was by herself for 10 seconds. All right. Then what's the Bub Jenkins approach?
What's the riz?
Yeah.
I mean, I just strike up conversations, get a feel for whether or not she's open.
And how would you do that? Say, hey, what's up? It's the J Man.
I don't know.
Recognize?
I don't know. It depends on what's going on in the moment.
Yeah.
If there's some way for me to break into the conversation. Another thing I have to overcome though is I'm fucking scary.
Okay, that's fair.
You're scary?
Yeah. So, I've been told that I look fucking intimidating.
No, you're definitely. It's not necessarily a look, but you're very stoic. You know what I mean? And stoicism
I
can
look
sometimes
unapproachable.
I've never gotten that from you. That's why I was asking. Like,
Well, that's also because you see me on stage before, so you kind of know that I'm a goofball.
Maybe.
Like, but most people don't have conversations with me, which is why being a bouncer was so easy because I don't say anything to people.
Do you know how long it took for me to get his self-esteem down to think that he's intimidating to people? Don't you come in here and ruin this whole psychological bond I have over Bub. You are a monster, Bub Jenkins.
I realized it when I was in Japan. I walked up to this group of girls with because what my trick.
No shit.
My trick was to take American beer, and you walk up because imported beer was like.
Yeah.
The Japanese love imported beer, so I'd like buy. And for some reason, at the Class 6, they only sold 18 packs. So I'd take a case of 18 and be like, hey, and ask them in Japanese, hey, can you guys feel like drinking with me? And then this one girl ran away while I was with one of my Japanese buddies. And she's like, kawaii, kawaii, kawaii. And like, kawaii is cute. But I had to ask my buddy Takumi, I was like, she's not saying kawaii. And he just busted out laughing.
Apparently, he's trying to call him. He says he's getting a voicemail. Let me try to call him.
All right.
But yeah, she ran away yelling scary.
Oh,
I was like, oh, fuck.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, people also said that I look intimidating.
Hey, Jim, can you hear me?
Really?
Mean.
Hello, Jim, can you hear me?
Well, you are a ginger. You're
One
not be
second.
evil.
Yeah.
Oh, one second. Oh, Jim, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, very good, Mr. Tozzi. Thank you so much. And I'm just going to turn you guys down, okay? Can you hear me good, sir?
I can hear you good. I was trying to call you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I've been getting calls all day for the show. I don't know why it's. I don't see any missed calls or anything. Let me see. No, that's so weird. And you got the 210-284-2552 number?
Oh shit. Yeah, that's the number I dialed.
Huh. Very weird. Well,
maybe you don't have my number, so maybe it's just blocking unknown numbers.
Maybe, but I usually I do a call-in show. So
yeah,
usually, yeah. So usually I get a lot of unknown numbers. Yeah. So I'm sorry about that, but thank you so much for your patience.
Let's sue the phone company. Let's sue them. Let's do it together.
Fuck yeah! And you got the money for that probably, or at least the connections.
Mental damages. What?
You got the connections for that probably, right? You know, some lawyers or something.
No, I was hoping you did. I just got the no.
Okay. Hey, you know what? We got the passion.
I don't get the lawyers.
Let's not even get the lawyers involved.
Not on my side.
Let's not even get the law involved in this. Let's just take let's take it in blood.
Take the law into our own hands.
Yes, dude. I'm taking at least one head for this.
Let's start a vigilante group.
Fuck yeah, dude. And you can do the logos, or maybe I'll do the logos and you can just be like, you can just criticize me. And I'll be like, well, then why don't you do the logos? And you'll be like, no, I don't want to do the logos. And I'll be like, all right, well, then don't criticize.
Yeah, I won't do anything.
Well, that's pretty dope. I like that.
It's ultimate laziness, which has got me to where I am today.
Speaking of that, I actually have a bunch of questions. I've been trying to listen to your interviews that you've done because I didn't want to ask some of the same questions. I noticed that I couldn't find a lot of interviews on you.
No, it's fine because no one listens to those interviews. So, ask away. Don't inhibit yourself.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
I'll try to answer as best as I can. I hope you're not expecting great intelligent answers.
No,
I'll try my best.
Sir, thank you so much. I'm going to try my best not to interrupt you. I know that we're not speaking face to face, and even when we are, I'm kind of bad at interrupting. So apologies at first, please.
Oh no, that's okay. That happens all the time to me.
Well, thank you so much, sir. So
people interrupting my face while talking.
So right now I have Jim Tozzi on the line. Have you ever been called Tozzi Tosborn?
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah, like way back.
Oh yeah.
Probably like when I was in maybe the 7th grade, like in the 70s.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I was thinking. I'm like,
that's
dude,
the
Toz.
Going way back. Tozzi Tosborn, Tozzi Bear, when the Muppets.
Fuck yeah, Tozzi Bear.
I had a kid that I liked, a friend that called me Tozzi Bear. But yeah, Tozzi Tosborn was one. Man, it's taken me back to junior high school.
Yeah, and what I want to bring to is also you seem to have a real focus on childhood icons and stuff like that, and also kind of a sexual focus to them. Where do you think that came from, or did you ever think about where that came from, or even cared?
No, I tried not to think about it. I mean, yeah, it's all in there. Obviously, the main influence is Sesame Street, and it wasn't something I really thought about a lot. Until I watched some old Sesame Street episodes from when they first started, like late 60s, early 70s, and I was like, holy shit, the stuff I was seeing was like, this stuff has influenced me my whole life, subconsciously in a way, or in a definite way, which is great. I love Sesame Street, but taking that, and then just, life and experience and perspective, and how life just gets weird and makes you weird, and that's what comes out of the meat grinder, I suppose, and formed into that sexy sausage.
Fuck yeah. So
and I don't mean to offend any vegetarians out there. You could have vegetarian sausage too.
Yeah, we have a lot of vegetarian
Is sausage
listeners.
offensive now? Has sausage been canceled?
I hope so.
You hope so?
It makes it more delicious.
Well, there was that. What's the buttered sausage thing they did? It was like a deep fake with Gary Busey.
Oh shit!
Have you seen that? It's weird, but it's really good. It's like a deep fake, and he's just talking about buttered sausage and where it comes from and how it affects our lives.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull that up real quick for us. Let me see.
Yeah, it's probably just Gary Busey buttered sausage.
There we go. Let's see. Gary Busey buttered sausage. Let me see.
I forget who the guy that does the voice, but he's great. I guess he does a bunch of voices.
So for everybody,
he's got the mouth and the teeth.
For everybody that I didn't do a great job of introducing you. So this is Mr. Jim Tozzi. He is actually talking about influence. It's funny that you say that because I realized how much of an influence you've been in my life, doing a lot of these, kind of doing a deep dive on you in preparation for this interview. Because I grew up on TV Land, and I know that you kind of So you've been a commercial artist since like the mid '90s, early '90s.
That sounds like what do they call it? Sandwich artists?
I was a sandwich artist actually just recently.
It's Subway, right? It's not. Does Chipotle have like burrito artists, or is it just Subway?
I don't think they're that
Subway's
condescending.
A sandwich artist, right? Anyway, it's funny. Yeah, commercial
artist.
It sounds like an oxymoron.
Oh,
But,
so
yes.
so actually that kind of brings me to another question I wanted to ask about you doing commercials and your kind of aversion to the way that advertising kind of preys on people's weaknesses. But I also noticed that with your new project, Bert's Tit, you've been kind of doing almost, I kind of consider this your water lilies, if you're Monet,
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, it seems like this is what your focus is on right now. And I was wondering, do you think that's kind of almost a commentary on your ideas about advertisement?
Yeah, I suppose in a way. I mean, like I said, I grew up on Sesame Street, but I also grew up on television. That was like The Babysitter. And so I think it was always a reaction against it. I mean, I love television, but there was always like, when I grew up, you didn't have that many choices. This is the olden days when you had 3 channels and you had 2 UHF channels. So 5 channels, I guess. So you didn't have much choice. And a lot of times you were forced to watch, you were forced to choose the lesser of 2 evils as far as programming. So just, being constantly assaulted by stuff that, that I loved, but also stuff that I didn't like. It's definitely like the reaction was, well, I want to do this, but do it in my way. And I guess in a way try to subvert the medium, but it's really hard when there's a lot of money and serious clients involved who don't want you like fucking with their narrative.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I didn't understand. They're really serious about their narratives, the advertisers. And I'm like, whatever, it's just fun. I want to tell this funny story. But no, it all comes down to the bottom line and money, and That's what's kind of evil about it. But hey, I guess it works for them. They make a lot of money.
I mean, that's right. I mean, they spend a lot of money too, kind of on that, are you familiar with Japanese commercials at all?
I've seen quite a few, and I the ones I've seen are probably like not typical. I mean, I think the ones that I've seen are probably like, oh, these are the weird, wackiest commercials from Japan, and they've all been crazy, but good.
Well, the point is, I'm sorry to interrupt. I said, what I was going to say is that I don't know if you're familiar. I don't know if this is still a law, but I think they had a law at a time where they weren't actually able to advertise the product in the commercial itself. You know, like they had to advertise it in almost a different way. That's why they are so weird and surreal. Did you ever? Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you ever think about doing commercial work in Japan? Did anybody ever offer you commercial work, or did the stuff that you did make people not want to keep hiring you for stuff?
Yeah, well, yeah, more of the latter. Definitely, people did not want to hire me for more stuff. If I had the chance to go to Japan, I would have jumped at the chance. I did actually get to go to Russia to shoot a couple of spots in Russia, and that was very interesting. And weird in a way, because I don't speak Russian. I didn't know anything about it, but it was like an ad for some kind of snack cracker thing, and it was and that was an interesting trip. But I'm gonna say that was back in the mid 2000s. That happened.
So speaking of the mid 2000s, and feel free not to answer this question, but I was just kind of really curious. And I heard an answer that you gave, and so when you left PFR in 2009, was it just kind of? I'm sorry if this is kind of like I said.
No.
All right, good.
No.
Was it just because? So why did you leave in 2009?
Well, 2009 was the end of Xavier Renegade Angel, and I was hoping. Well, there was rumor that we would either make an Xavier Renegade Angel movie or do a third season, and neither of those things happened. And they ended up doing Harchie Holler, and I didn't really even know anything about Harchie Holler. I heard it from like a third party. They're like, "Oh, you're doing Harchie Holler," and I was like, "What are you even talking about? What is that?" So that made me feel bad, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe I'm like the fourth wheel in this equation or this vehicle," and I think that's kind of what it turned out to be. I mean, John and Vernon and Allison, I think they were focusing more on live action stuff. They definitely didn't want to work with puppets anymore. And yeah, so I was just kind of like, I think, I'm not contributing anything to this group. And I also don't feel like my contribution is wanted anyway. So I was like, all right, maybe that's, time to move on. So that's kind of what happened. I harbor no ill will towards those guys. I mean, I'm still friends with them all, but yeah, just haven't been involved since Xavier.
And that's one of the things I noticed in your interviews is that you really downplay how much I believe that you really shaped those projects, Wonder Shows, and Xavier Renegade Angel, because I was looking back. I know that it was based off a pilot that they were working on with Kid Show, and so I tried to get to find as much as I could on that pilot, and I think I found an 8-minute thing. I think it was supposed to be 14 minutes long, and I'm talking about even not the pilot that they made into the eventual first episode, but
the 8-minute thing's like the original thing that John and Vernon did. I think it has like Clarence in it. I think a different Clarence, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. It has definitely Clarence. It has all the pieces. I think it has. Did you do the DOG OBGYN for them for that?
I didn't do the animation. I illustrated the whole thing. So yeah, I did the style of it because they wanted like a very, just like a kind of straight comic book generic style. So
So you're even right. So you were there from the beginning. So and I think it's not even anime. Well, it's not. It's just they just show the illustrations, kind of the pictures of them, and I guess once
Yeah,
they got the budget.
I feel like there was some simple animation, but yeah, maybe it was pretty much just it was just like kind of like a slideshow kind of thing, right?
Yeah, but if you look at that, anybody that goes out there and looks at that, it's like I said, the idea, like you can see the skeleton of it, but you definitely put the skin on there, like and yeah, definitely. And I think that's like one of the most incredible things, and that I didn't even know that you were involved with Wonder Shows, and because I found out Bert's tit through that Space Wizard guy, which I know that you really respect.
Oh, what you mean, Wizard Skull? The Space
Wizard Skull, thank you. Yeah, Wizard Skull.
He is from space, I think.
Well, that's good.
I love Wizard Skull, but that's how I always say, like he definitely his sexy Ronald sticker definitely inspired me to start doing stickers.
And I also, sorry.
But yeah, I mean, originally that's I was friends with John and Vernon and Allison, and we kind of started as this kind of fake electro band, but at that time, John they were working on the Wonder Shows and pilots, so they were looking for someone that could interpret their kind of weird ideas, and I happened to be that person. So yeah, as far as putting like a skin on that skeleton, I would say I definitely contributed to that, even though it's a maybe a diseased, unhealthy skin. But that's what they wanted. That they wanted crusty grease on their skeleton.
Yeah, and I think that
I did my best.
No, I think I think especially with even going all the way back to your commercial work, I think that you really have a special place in people's weird subconscious place that you don't even really get to access unless you're kind of partially dreaming or something like that, like where the humor is, and it's and it's like you kind of remember these things, but they're definitely perverted or weird in a certain way. And well,
that's like the point I was trying to make about like being raised on television. I think that's what kind of, not that I was probably aware of it, but that as far as like wanting to get into commercials and stuff like that was like, oh, I need to go back and in a way try to control that, by recreating this stuff. So that's why I was always very into like recreating recreating certain time periods. And like you mentioned, TV Land, that was a really probably one of the first commercial jobs I had when I was partners with my ex-wife. We were a directing team, and we did this whole series of fake promos for TV Land, and it was great because we had this concept of taking this product and following it through different decades of different styles of commercials. So we went everywhere from the 50s through the 90s, and that was one of the best, most creative jobs I think I've had in the commercial field, anyway.
I think the one of my favorites is where the dude's doing the pull-ups while he's smoking the big pipe at the same time. I was like, oh, that's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
It's so good.
The epitome of mid-century health, smoking while while doing pull-ups. It was very like the Church of the Subgenius, Bob kind of influenced, and basically just like a ripoff. I think it was like a Cheerios or a Kix commercials of two kids. One kid ate Cheerios for breakfast and the other kid didn't, so he got to do more pull-ups.
Yeah,
simpler times.
No, and I think it seemed almost like it was not easier, but there was more. There was more to parody back then, because there was there was supposed to be a certain amount of dignity. So when you kind of saw the cracks, and you kind of got to show the mirror back to it. But now it just seems like everything is almost a parody, and it's almost like they're doing the work for you in a weird way. It's kind of hard. It's almost like you want to turn the other way and be more of a Mr. Rogers kind of person.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting. It's almost like it's sometimes hard to distinguish between parody and not.
And so this is kind of maybe a silly question.
Or maybe I'm just getting old.
No, that's what I
It's
think
getting
too.
worse.
Dude, I immediately know what I felt today, or I think it was yesterday. I walked into a freaking gas station, and I guess they changed the Cracker Jack to Cracker Jill for like Women's Month or something.
Oh, man,
and
really?
But yeah, but it stopped me in my tracks. I was like,
What about Cracker Them?
yeah, dude. I was
Cracker
just
They.
like, I was
Cracker
freaking.
They.
But I was like, am I
Did
getting
it.
old
I got
now?
applause for a bad joke.
Yeah. No, I was just like, am I getting old now? Fucking because it really
Cracker
did.
Jill?
It didn't bother
What kind
me.
of country are we living in?
Like it didn't anger me or anything, but it just like, but the fact that it shocked me, like I was just
Wait,
like,
but is Cracker Jack dressed in drag on the package, or is it like, is it an actual girl?
it's a well, but there was also a brown one. They had a brown girl and a white girl. I'm like, that's not Cracker Jack. She's got to be a white chick. That's not a cracker. The fuck. So speaking, so I'm sorry. So I wanted to ask, how do you?
Are white people offended by Cracker Jack?
I'm trying to be offended by it just so I can hold
What
that
if your
over
name is
somebody's head.
Jack? If your name is Jack and you're white, and you're like, they've named this product Cracker Jack, how do you feel?
I don't know. I think I didn't feel anything about it until they took it away. Now I'm kind of like, give Cracker Jack back.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. See, that's probably someone's marketing strategy, some think tank.
No, exactly, and it's working.
Rapper.
Yeah, I was almost like,
how do we mess with people's minds? How do we get that one dude to miss Cracker Jacks and start to hoard them again?
No, I used to work as one of those people that got people to take surveys in the mall, and then you get them to look at products, and then they track your eye movement, and then you'd have to
weird.
Yeah, right, like little paragraphs of do you think the product is trustworthy? Do you think it's all this kind of stuff? And I'm like,
shit. Wait, were the people aware that their eyeballs were being tracked?
oh yeah, no, they tell you all that kind of stuff. And it was great too because I worked for kind of a shady manager, so we ended up just doing all the tests anyway and just feeding them a bunch of fake data. So so that's probably why a lot of shit's weird these days. Now that I think about it, oh, that could explain it because they're like, well, I guess people want fucking peanut butter Oreos. That's I don't know. I guess that it's already in peanut butter Oreos. I'm sorry, but so
that sounds disgusting.
So this is kind of I'm sure everybody asks you this question, but I didn't hear it in the interviews. Is drug use ever a part of your creative process, do you think?
Hardly ever. No, and that's an interesting thing because I remember people always asking me like, well, they see Xavier, or they even see Wonder Show, and they're like, John and Vernon, they must have been doing a lot of drugs. It's like, no, they were like the straightest edge guys I knew. I think it was either John or Vernon that hadn't even had alcohol in their entire life.
Oh wow!
So they were like super lucid. I mean, but you look at those shows and you're like, yeah, I mean, there's no way you could be inhibited by any kind of substances and write shit like that.
That's exactly what I would say.
They're so sharp. It's just like it's razor sharp stuff, and it's just like.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt.
You can enjoy it while on drugs.
I think it's
on a certain level. But
I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking for myself, I drink occasionally, but yeah, I also don't like the sort of all like the crazy, not even crazy, but like, taking acid or mushrooms. I did that in art school, thinking that was like the cool thing to do while in art school, but it just gave me anxiety and paranoia pretty much.
Yeah, it definitely does, and I guess speaking of just that, do you think you may have ADHD? Because I know when we talk about your art process, you'll draw, do a painting, and you'll be really excited about that, and then later you'll be like, I can't do that, I gotta do something else. Have you ever thought that, or ever been diagnosed with anything like that?
It might be a very a slow form of ADHD, because I think I don't feel like I need to change up a lot every few minutes or whatever, or get distracted. I could definitely focus, but I've never been tested or diagnosed with it. But it's just the type of thing where you put a lot of time into a painting, and it's a lot of mental effort as well, and you don't realize that after you finish, you kind of need to recharge. So like the thought of doing that same thing over again seems kind of overwhelming. So you're like, well, maybe I'll do something else that, you know, uses maybe a different part of my brain and kind of navigate through the creative process that way. But yeah, I think, you know, like anyway, I think I just get kind of bored doing the same thing over and over again. And I like to do different things. You know, I like to at least try to challenge myself a little and try different forms.
Yeah. So I know that you said that you know, TV's obviously been a big influence in your style, and you know, kind of also just, you know, your influenced in your life in a lot of ways. Is there anything in particular you're watching these days, whether it's a TV show, movie, YouTube, things like that?
Yeah, but well, mostly YouTube, because I don't really have any streaming services. Although during the pandemic, someone gave me their Paramount subscription, and I watched the entire Star Trek Next Generation, which was pretty great, because I remember watching it when it first came on, and I got to like the first 6 episodes, and then I just stopped watching it. But I went back. Mainly, I think, because I saw it was like, you know, those red letter media guys.
Oh yeah.
That guy Mike is always talking about. He's like a huge Star Trek Next Generation fan, and it intrigued me, because he was like, yeah, the first season is just kind of wacky because Gene Roddenberry was still involved. And he was kind of trying to remake the original Star Trek, but you know, he had all these new people in it, and that kind of intrigued me. But it's actually really good. I mean, it definitely gets better, and the storylines are really interesting, and you care about the characters, and you feel kind of sad when it's all over. But you feel there's definitely like a nice closure. Picard decides to finally sit down at the poker table with the rest of the crew. Spoiler alert, sorry.
No,
that's how.
Hey.
And then he wakes up from his dream.
And he was just an autistic guy the whole time.
The stuff I've been watching like old Late Night with David Letterman's. I watched there's a whole I think there's a guy, there's a channel, I think that guy's name is like Don Geller, and he just like, he's got a bunch of old late Night with David Letterman's, but there's he does like these compilations, and there's this really, I'm like a big Chris Elliott fan, and he put together this compilation of all like the Chris Elliott stuff. But there's this one playlist that he has where it's all Chris Elliott doing Marlon Brando. You know, he'd come on the show and do Marlon Brando, and there's this whole like story arc, and it's just amazing. Yeah, so stuff like that, mostly just like old shows, stuff like that, stuff you can find on YouTube, old movies.
Well, I highly suggest watching Tubi. Get Tubi; it's a free streaming service, and they have all the old stuff.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, because my sister recommended that. I forget what she was watching on Tubi.
They have probably all the late. I mean, they have like all kinds of old stuff. They have like all the roasts and stuff from back in the day. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
the Dean Martin roast,
dude. Yeah, it's so good. I think they have all the old Addams families. Like, you can really just get, and you'll find. Trust me, yeah, man. If you're what I also love about listening to your process and stuff like that is that I guess I've always had a weird idea of how people that are how I feel is very successful and make like such great art. That has like really influenced me, how I think that, you know, they live their life, and it's really kind of comforting to know that, you know, you're just on YouTube watching old TV shows and stuff. You know,
yeah, if you knew the reality, you'd be horrified, dude. For the past 10 years, I've been sleeping on my buddy's couch.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
It's disgusting. No, it's horrible. But yeah, that's what I do. I got a couch bed.
Hey, so do I. We're in a couch bed right now doing the podcast.
I'm sitting on the couch that I sleep on right now as we speak. What
dude.
A crazy synchronicity. It's meant to be.
Dude,
the universe is aligned.
Sometimes when you're sitting on that couch, I can think, I'll be like, you know what? I bet Justin's sitting on, Jim's sitting on his couch right now. Fuck it. The reason Justin slipped out is because I did want to ask you. I saw the interview you did with, I think it was American Slackers, and I saw that you're a really big fan of Rick and Morty, which I am a really big fan of them, especially the early stuff, and a big fan of Justin Roiland. So how do you feel about that whole thing that happened to him? I don't know what people want to say happened to him, but I think it happened to him, how they took away all of his shit.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure. I guess I'm kind of confused as to what happened, but I thought, I mean, I first heard about him, I think it was through Vernon, because he was like, oh, you got to check out this House of Cosby's.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I just loved that. I thought that was so good. And that was Justin Roiland. And then, Rick and Morty, I thought was brilliant. I haven't seen any of the new ones.
It's really not. I mean, I think the third season is probably the last good season, and then there's just kind of good episodes from then on. I mean, it's comfy. Yeah. It's it's comfy to watch. It's not the worst thing to throw on, but it is kind of I don't know. I think when Justin Roiland stopped giving a crap, some of the magic went away. But
yeah. And I was like, it seemed like he's playing both those characters, and it's such an integral part of the show. And I know he brought a lot of improvisation and stuff to it. So I was like, how are they going to do that with two new actors? And then I listened to I watched like a clip with the new voice actors, and I thought the Morty, I mean the Rick character was good, but then I thought the Morty wasn't as good. But I mean, I guess you're never gonna find an exact match to that. But I don't know what he was.
So this is what I heard.
Domestic dispute, or he was abusing his girlfriend or something, and then he was canceled, and then it was like, well, no, that wasn't really how it happened. I was unclear what happened exactly, but it seemed like they took the show away and he was canceled, but then it was like, oh well, maybe he wasn't as bad as we thought or something, but he's still canceled. I don't know. But yeah, you'll have to enlighten me as to if you know more about what happened.
No, that's pretty much the gist of it. So I guess during the lockdown, he got into a domestic with his chick, or it was alleged that he did, and then it kind of came out after kind of the COVID stuff went away. I think they're starting a new season or something, and so they're like, oh, this is something that happened. So people are like, we can't associate with him. And then during that time, it also came out that I guess, but this is just pictures. I guess he was like messaging some underage girls, like some 16-year-olds or something like that, saying, I guess like texting them inappropriate things. But it wasn't like Jared level creepy. It was just inappropriate, kind of sex jokes, I'd say. I don't know. I haven't really combed through the records myself, it just, but
shit, dick pics.
Yeah. And I also haven't heard him actually respond saying that he did or didn't do the whole texting thing. So I'm kind of like, and also I don't know, this might be a shitty thing of me, but I really don't give a fuck as long as I like the product. So I'd rather him be making them. I don't know. I'm like, might be a shitty person that way, but I'm like, I don't know. So that's what seemed what happened. It seemed like, but also it kind of felt like during one of the seasons, maybe the fourth, they were kind of pushing him out. Not pushing him out, but they just kind of stopped maybe sending him the memos for creative direction, kind of maybe what happened with the PFFR thing and the, where they're just like, like maybe their vision kind of surpassed, or not, like maybe not surpassed, but like, I don't know, they're just going left and you're going right or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I wasn't aware of any of that, but.
I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Oh no!
I don't want to bring it down like that.
I'm sure Justin will be fine. He's like a multimillionaire, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I felt bad for the Bushworld, or the guy that made Bushworld. I know you're a big fan of that, and I was too.
Oh yeah, Bushworld. Well, I think he's doing like another cartoon, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, he did it, but Justin was the executive producer for it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the voice thing. So I'm worried about now that, because he was kind of the golden goose. He was kind of had that Seth MacFarlane thing where it was just like, hey, whatever you want, here's some money, and you're kind of the kingmaker, and he definitely gave that dude the golden ticket. So I'm just kind of worried that what it's going to go on with Hulu with that, like what the ratings are like. But I thought it was a really good show. I don't know if you got a chance to see Koala Man.
No, that's the show. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen it, and I was excited about it because but Bushworld was so good. Just as that parody was amazing.
He also did one.
Keep making more Bush worlds.
Well, he also did one with these guys, these Bogan characters. I think it's something, and it's kind of like a Beavis and Butthead Australian thing. Definitely look into that dude's stuff. He has a lot of early stuff that's really funny. But yeah, I think I totally agree. They should do more Bushworld. Yeah.
Yeah.
And please let me know if the conversation's ever getting too long. I really appreciate you being generous with your time. So kind of on that note, because that wasn't really because I definitely think that you're one of I think Wonder Shows and just like your guys' stuff. And also, man, when you call yourself a fake music band, I was listening to the PFFR stuff more. I mean, that shit's really fucking good. That stuff's like so good.
Well, I always think it's kind of funny just because, I mean, John was the only real musician who could play and sing and knew how to like put a song together. Vernon and myself and Allison, we were just like, okay, we'll just make noise. So yeah, anything that resembles a crafted song is all definitely John Lee.
Did you do the vocals on any of them?
Probably, yeah.
Did you do it on?
There's that. What's that? There's a song called Buffalo Bill, I think.
Oh, and also, did you do fucking Panther or Cobra, or what's the one? It's about the fucking shit Cougar. Cougar.
No, I think that's Vernon.
Oh, nice. I love that one.
Vernon did a lot of the vocals. Actually, he's got a great voice. Yeah, I think that was Vernon, and Vernon did like Sonic Fit, which is a very annoying song, but they're all kind of funny. It's just like it's got their sense of humor, and it's weird and kind of, I think it pisses a lot of people off, but a lot of people just appreciate the weirdness, which is nice.
So, because I know you had a history in doing the commercial stuff, going back to that, but also want to go back to the Wonder Shows and Xavier creative process. So was there anything, and I know that I don't know how involved you were in the actual writing of it, or any of the storyline ideas or things like that, but was there anything that you or they wanted to do that they just weren't able to do, whether it was by budget or just the censors were like, or maybe even you guys were like, maybe this is a little bit too far, but it would be funny. But
yeah, I'm sure there was, but yeah, I was not involved in the writing process at all, or even the creative process as the only thing I was involved in mainly was they'd come up with the animations, and they'd be like, we want to do it in this style, can you create these characters in this style? And so that was my main responsibility. So yeah, I'm sure there was stuff that they had thought up that was, I mean, obviously they had a standards and practice kind of team on it, but yeah, I just read, there's a really good article that came out a few years ago. I don't know if you saw it. It's called like the oral history of Wonder Shows. And
I'm gonna look that up after this. Thank you.
Yeah, I just referred to it because I know it's going to be talking about. Let me just check, see what the hell it's called. But yeah, that's a really good reference. Yeah. As far as the how they went about like getting away with stuff, basically. And I've heard of similar things where like, someone will present like 3 ideas, and they know what they'll consciously have a really like crazy idea because they know it's going to get shot down, so they can have another less crazy idea be produced, that kind of
the art of the deal. Yeah, it's you ask for a little bit too much, so then when you ask for what you really wanted, it seems like a compromise.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, everyone's getting what they want. But apparently on Wonder Shows, and a couple of those crazy ideas that were supposed to never see the light of day actually got made, like little. Apparently.
I think I might have heard that some of them got snuck in, just from like looking into it, because honestly, like I
Well,
said,
you look at this show and you're like, wow, how did these ideas get made? Especially like in today's comedy climate.
and some of them are a little bit more. So I don't even necessarily think the language and all that kind of stuff, because for the time, like everybody always says, of the time, but everybody was really on the edgy shock jock kind of stuff. So it didn't really seem that weird. But there was one in particular. I think David Cross did it. I don't know if you remember, but when they're doing an interview with David Cross, and he's like, "Why are you doing this? None of this matters. Like, stop," or whatever. And he's like walking away, and he's just like, "Stop." But the way that he words it, it just felt very like deconstructionalist of almost like. Just the whole narrative and like little stuff like that was very deconstructionalist of the system. I was surprised came in sometimes, but maybe they went over people's heads. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they were definitely like at least 15 and a half years ahead of their time.
I mean, yeah.
But the thing that blew my mind was when that article came out. The guy was like, "Yeah, Wonder Shows were premiered a month before YouTube existed." And I was like, really? That's just wild to think about. Like Wonder Shows predates YouTube.
It really is, because I have the DVDs, and the DVDs are like they're almost like a little art piece themselves, just the way the menus even operate and all that. It's just
yeah.
So when it comes to the art collective kind of stuff, do you? So I know. So I want to get to Bert's Tit. And do you consider that more of a tool to get eyes on your other stuff, or is that really like what you're focused on right now? And do you even know what it is yet, or are you kind of figuring it out still while you're doing it?
Yeah, that's it. I'm glad you asked me that, because I feel like that's something I've been wrestling with recently that I haven't really been able to put into words, but yes, it is like a way to get noticed. And the idea behind the sticker was, let me take something that's recognizable quickly, because, you're putting these stickers up on the street. And if somebody even notices it, how long are they going to glance at it? 30, a second, less than that. So you want to, be able to have that register. So I was like, all right, I'll do this iconic character and, put a tit on it and see what happens. And, people noticed it. So I was like, all right, great. But, I have all this other art. So now it's like you said, yeah, the fear is like, oh, you're just the Bert's Tit guy. And that's it. It's like being typecast. So I'm like, I don't want to be known as just the Bert's Tit guy. I do other art stuff. But yeah, I think that's his fate. I can do nothing about it except do more of it.
Fuck yeah. So it's interesting that you're talking about that, because I don't know where, I don't know what it was, but while I was watching Wonder Shows and going through a real Whippet addiction, I rediscovered it because one of my exes had it on DVD, and I would just sit at her house and just watch these DVDs. And I kind of came up with a similar idea with the Hello Kitty design, because I was like, man, that's such a image virus. And if you can kind of just pervert it a little bit, you have this built-in almost pathway that, you know what I mean, is already a channel in people's brains. And you can kind of, like I said, you already have an invitation. You're almost sneaking in like, oh, I'm with this guy,
Yeah. I mean, it's also like, is that just low hanging fruit? It's like, oh yes, they're taking like this beloved, childhood character, and you're, kind of making it somewhat perverted. Although, I mean, it's not really I don't know. It's not, as far as Bert's Tit, I'm like, it's not really a sexual perversion thing. It's tit, but it's
a perversion of the character.
But the origin is a kid's character, so it's like, yes, I feel bad, like, oh, because like kids still, look at this character, and now they see that they're gonna be confused, and their parents are gonna have to explain, and then they'll get upset, and they'll get mad at me, and I love Sesame Street, and then Sesame Street will get mad at me, and so it's just a rabbit hole.
Well, I heard that you even well, it's like you were talking to that ASMR podcast, and I thought he asked some really great questions. That's why I'm glad I listened to it, so I didn't ask some of the same ones, because I really want people to go listen to that one and listen to the American Slackers one, because I got a lot of great information and a lot of great information about you. So I would definitely want people to listen to those if you want to learn more about Jim and his amazing artwork and just his kind of just like little fingerprint that he's had on probably a lot of some of your favorite stuff. And here, I honestly, I'm sorry, what?
It's a unique nipple print.
Yeah, exactly. And also, it's I think you guys are kind of like the Velvet Underground quote that I've heard, where they say maybe the Velvet Underground only sold like 1,200 CDs, but everybody that bought one started a band. You know?
That's right. Yeah, that sounds very, very true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of get your opinion on a couple other artists, because I noticed that what I love also about you is that you're not afraid of being influenced by other artists and kind of discovering something new about yourself through somebody's other stuff. And I think that's really something that you don't hear a lot of people talk about as openly.
Yeah, well, I think if you love art and you got to get excited by other people's art.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope.
So are you familiar with Sam Hyde? Because they also had a show on Adult Swim.
Yeah. I got canceled, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's weird. I don't really know him. I met him a couple of times, and I think the first time I met him was PFR was doing like I think it was like a 92nd Street Y talk for some reason, and he showed up like before we started. And he had like a bunch of his was it like the MDC $1 million, what was this thing called? You know what I'm talking about?
$1 Million Extreme, yeah. $1 Million Extreme, yeah.
And he was like, oh, can you give these out or whatever, and can I, and I was like, I don't think this is the right place to do that. What's your name? And so it was kind of an interesting meeting, but yeah, I mean, I think that the stuff
you guys. I'm sorry, I got confused. So you were helping film a Sesame Street thing?
No, it was just we were doing like a talk. There's a thing in New York called the 92nd Street Y, and that they'll have like they'll show films and they'll have people do
it's kind of an art house thing
and stuff. Yeah, so it was just like that. It was just PFR, and we were like showing clips from Wonder shows and talking about the show and the other sort of art stuff we had done.
Have you ever got a chance to ever look at any of the $1 Million Extreme stuff that was on Adult Swim?
No. I don't think I mean, like I said, I think I remember seeing like stuff before he had a show, and then it was like Tim Heidecker got really upset with him, and that
it's kind of a weird thing. It was during the Trump political thing, and so it was like everybody was very divisive, and they kind of liked the MDE was a little bit more, was a little bit more poking fun at maybe some of these liberal ideas, at first, and then they started getting pushback because Sam Hyde's kind of a provocateur, and and then and so then they just ended up canceling it, and so. I think Tim Heidecker had said on one of his podcasts to his fans that, hey, if you don't like this, go contact the advertisers. And which I mean, I'm actually a big fan of Tim Heidecker too. I think that and obviously $1 Million Extreme was very influenced by them. So I think that was kind of, maybe he was hurt by that more than anything. I know they kind of have a beef. But yeah, I don't know how much but I know Tim Heidecker also kind of has a lot of clout there. From what I hear, I've never worked for them, obviously, but so I know that he has a lot of shows that they run. So I guess he would probably have a little bit of a pull there, so his word might carry a little bit of weight. So so it says so I would highly suggest maybe checking out some of their episodes though, because I definitely think it's one of the closest things to Wonder shows that I'd seen. Definitely, and it's interesting those on Adult Swim that you guys had that kind of interesting or that meeting where you're like, I don't know if this is appropriate. So have you ever seen anything that you felt was too offensive when it came to art and comedy?
Maybe Final Flesh by Vernon Chapman.
Okay, I gotta look that up now. Thank you.
Oh, okay. You gotta see Final Flesh. And that was it's a great idea. I don't know about the execution, but the idea was that you could write, you could create a scenario and sort of write it in and send it to these different porn companies, and they would create the scene with porn actors for you. So Werner was like, I'm going to write a whole script, and have these like amateur porn actors do this whole script. And there's like no.
You guys were a part of this. That's how I know about this. Yes. Because I'm like, that sounds familiar. And now I see produced by PFFR. Interesting. Oh yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
No. And like I said, I thought it's an interesting concept. Watching it is like, I think like it's okay, but yeah. Anyway,
so is there a way to see that? Is it streaming anywhere? Or?
I don't think so. I think
you had to go see Vernon personally.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah, you got to go to Vernon's house, and he's got a little projector in the closet. No, I think you might still be able to get it on Drag City Records, on DVD.
Very good. I gotta check that out. Go check out Final Flesh. It's the only thing.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it. I would say you'll definitely enjoy it. Knowing who's behind it.
No, it's definitely right up my alley. I don't know if you ever seen the website eFucked.
No.
Oh geez, yeah, it's like kind of specializes in porn bloopers and kind of the like the mishaps of sexuality, that people put on the internet, and then say that somebody edits it up that I know to a funny music and memes.
The Pornhub blooper reel.
Yeah, it can get kind of dark though, so it's definitely something.
Was it heavy R?
Oh yeah, it's yeah. I'm sure that they actually probably take a lot of their stuff from eFucked. If you see a lot of videos online that are like anything sexually fun, like hardcore, like porn blooper kind of thing, edited in a certain way, most likely is eFucked, and you might even see the thing at the end.
Yeah.
But
it's like an offshoot of like E-Bombs World or something.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the idea, because I know the dude that first created it was kind of into making amateur videos himself, and porn also, but kind of more like stunt videos.
Making porn bloopers.
You ever seen bum fights?
Yes.
Yeah, it was kind of in
that. There a VHS of bum fights?
Yeah, there's still. I think you can still buy bum fights off of Indecline, possibly. That's the company that was originally behind it. And so he kind of wanted to make that, and then eventually started this kind of parody porn site. I think it was around the time that E-Bombs World was really big, so I think it was kind of the answer to that, where everybody was going on it was like the birth of the internet viral video. So there's all these different sites that would have crazy videos from Japan and all that. And so he kind of knew a dude. Well, it's a long story, but I used to kind of be in that scene where we'd like film videos and sell them to those websites. But yeah, then he kind of transitioned to that, and it really took off. And then another one of my friends ended up taking over for him in the editing department. So I was just thinking, I don't know if you, I don't know what your, I don't know where your darkness is and all that kind of stuff. It's definitely, it's not as funny as I thought it was when I was 18. You know what I mean? It's
yeah. Oh yeah. Sure. You realize?
I'm sorry. You realize what?
Than porn bloopers.
Yeah, there's more to the world.
But you realize there's an emotional cost.
Yeah, when you start having emotions with, it ruins everything. It takes all the fun out of it.
Right? Yeah.
Geez, there's a couple of questions. I think I basically asked everything. So is there anything you do artistically that you don't show for one reason or another?
Huh. I think artistically, that stuff's all out there. Yeah, I don't. There's not like I don't have like some secret like little art project that I'm afraid to put out there. I don't think. I'm sure I'll think of something, be like, oh yeah, there's this thing tucked away that I'm afraid to show anybody. But no, I can't think of anything. I mean, I've recently published a small volume of my erotic ducks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sold out.
And that's your Bridges, but that's your Monet, that right?
All the duck porn fans out there.
And where can people find that?
Well, it's not available anymore, but I was selling them on my Instagram. I might do another run. It's just a really tiny, like a 2-inch by 3-inch, very discreet little book of just a bunch of pretty much all the erotic duck paintings I've made over the years.
Did you kind of model it after the Tijuana nudie mags?
Oh yeah, those are great. Yeah, it's not like there's no narrative. It's mostly just paintings I've done of like cartoon kind of Donaldish duck-looking ducks, fucking and hanging out naked. But yeah, those little Tijuana books are great. I think I saw one was like Wimpy and Olive Oil. It was like an old one.
Yeah, they would do those in like Wonder Woman and Betty Boop. Whichever the.
Those are them, right? Yeah, and and Wimpy had this amazing boner. It was drawn so well, but it was old. Yeah, it was like from the 40s or something. But yeah, those are great. Definitely an inspiration.
Hell yeah. So are you is there any trends in art or the media that kind of rub you the wrong way that you've seen on the rise, or maybe something you see go away that you're happy to see go away?
Yeah, I'm sure there's some stuff that's just annoying. I mean, yeah, any trends I always find annoying just because it's just like, okay, yeah, everyone's doing it and it's like the flavor of the month kind of thing. And it's so boring to me. It's just so, it's like influencers kind of, I don't know, just like, yeah, all right. It's everywhere and everyone loves it and it's so easily accessible and you don't really have to think about it. I mean, it just seems like stuff like that. That's what kind of generates these trends. So yeah, I'm sure there's stuff out there now that's just, that I avoid, so I don't even, I try not to waste any brain space on it. Is there anything that bothers you? Maybe you could jog my memory.
No, that's a good point.
Repressed visuals.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. Is there anything that kind of particularly bothers me? I am kind of I don't think that there's much of it these days, but I'm kind of glad to see the I'm going to be a political comedian kind of thing,
Ooh. Yeah,
yeah, that was kind of annoying.
I'm getting goosebumps, but in a bad way, not in a porn blooper way.
Yeah, no, because I like sorry.
I mean, unless you're like Jon Stewart, but.
Well, no, it's like I don't like the people. Let's put it this way: I don't have any problem with political comedy. I think there's like a lot of great political comedy, and there's a lot of good stuff there to mock, definitely. But where it's kind of like, oh, I'm a failed comic. Oh, let me now be this.
Okay.
Let me now be a political guy because I just have to say whatever this person wants me to say, kind of thing. And you're not.
Didn't that happen to
Steven Crowder was one of them.
Okay, now I'm thinking of
Jim Brewer.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Definitely. I definitely think it happened to Jim Brewer, but I think that Jim Brewer is, let's put it this way. I think that the way that they call it the Overton window or whatever, or, I think that the center has kind of been forced to identify as the right. But I don't think anybody has to identify as anything. But if you're into politics, whatever was moderate 10 years ago is now, extreme, is now extremist or whatever in the right. So I think he just, and also I think he's always kind of been, if you ever listen to his stuff, I think he's always kind of been tuned into, the back office that runs, you know what I mean? Whatever you want to say, the powers that be and stuff like that. And I think this COVID stuff really rocked a lot of people. It's really sad.
Look at Roseanne.
Oh my God, dude.
He's like completely nuts.
Yeah, and you wonder, it's like, is that part age or is that like part age and or like what happened there?
She just seems like a full blown like conspiracy theory nut.
And also wonder though, like she would know though, like if she's saying that the elites are fucking kids, I'm like, well, yeah, you were probably hanging out with some of them, so she might know.
You would know, right?
Yeah, that's why I always kind of take their stuff with a little more credence. But then I always go like, That's. But also when Johnny Rotten came out and was saying, "Oh, everybody knew about Seville," I'm like, "Oh wow, you were so punk and didn't write a song about it though. You're a real punk rock and kept your fucking mouth shut."
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know,
diddling along with Seville, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, but that's when in Rome.
Yeah, he's punk though. You know, he's punk rock.
Yeah, he only did it because to show it to the queen. He's like, fuck her. She doesn't want me to molest this child. I don't know. That's also one of those things that I feel like a lot of people are waking up to the conspiracy stuff that I'm kind of like, are you at all a conspiracy kind of guy? I don't even know if that's a weird question. It almost sounds like an offensive thing to ask people, you know, because people usually associate it with flat earth stuff or whatever. But are there any kind of conspiracy stuff that you, or that, I don't know how to word that, but I think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, there other conspiracies that I'm sort of invested in. I would say no, because it seems like whenever someone comes up with a conspiracy, there's never any really hard evidence, and it's just frustrating. It's like, you know, like UFOs or the JFK assassination or whatever you want to, you know, whatever conspiracy you want to pick. It's like, show me, you know, some kind of hardcore evidence to prove it, and there never is. I mean, I think, yeah, I mean. I try not to buy into any conspiracy theories, and yeah, the flat Earth stuff is crazy. It's just weird to see people that are so convinced that the Earth is flat.
Well, the weird thing about that to me is
stories they come up with are very entertaining.
No,
you know,
definitely,
the way you have to twist your narrative to fit, twist your story to fit this narrative is impressive. The hurdles and hoops that they jump through or on.
Yeah, but it's, I think a lot of, so my whole thing about that is like, let's just say it is flat. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, it's flat. Like,
let's do about it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I mean, who really cares? Yeah, because I mean, if you look at maps, what an interesting thing is, if you look at maps, that's like, oh, like maps look different based on which country you're in. You know what I mean? So we all kind of have a perverted perspective just based off of cartology, you know, whatever, and stuff in general. It's like there are a lot of, but I think it's a kind of a superiority thing where they're like, well, I know the big secret, you know, and it gives, and nobody, sometimes people don't want to give that away. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. It's sort of like a comfort thing. It's like you know the real deal, and nobody else does, and therefore you have some kind of control over the world. But we're all gonna die. It's inevitable.
You say that, but you know, I haven't seen the. I think I'll be the exception, and then I'll be really famous for that too. They'll be like, he still hasn't died yet.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'll be laughing. I'll be laughing at your grave. But that's what Tozzi thought. Make a puppet about that.
I'll be looking up your skirt from that grave.
Oh, Daddy, thank you.
Aced.
Man, you've been nothing but fucking kind. Thank you so much. This isn't a send off. I'm just saying thank you so much for
Thanks for having me. I appreciate all the applause and the good vibes and bringing up those painful memories once again.
Well, you know, I was hoping you were gonna drag somebody.
What? You're gonna kill somebody?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a nice fag drag later. It's gonna be nice. We're living Texas down here.
Yeah.
Oh, you heard that? That's good. So where are you living these days?
I am in New York City, Manhattan.
Big city slicker.
West side of Manhattan. Well, like I said, I'm basically homeless. If it wasn't for my buddy who let me sleep on his couch.
He's your Medici.
I'd not be here. But God bless him. God bless us.
Yeah, God bless him. Do you have any plans for Thanksgiving coming up?
Yeah, I'm gonna go see my mom. I'm gonna go back to Everett, Massachusetts, where I grew up. Mama Tozzi, and yeah, see my brother and my sisters and probably my nieces, and have some turkey meat. turkey meat.
Speaking of your sisters, I know that you did a show starting out, in your probably kitchen, I'm sure, at some of the scenes. It was called Chico. Is that what it was called?
Oh, it wasn't really a show, but yeah, me and my little sister started fooling around with a Super 8 camera, and it was actually me and my best buddy Sean. We had the Super 8 camera, and we just started doing silly little movies, and yeah, I think one of the only maybe sort of continuing characters was this character called Chico, which was my little sister with like a Cheech Marin mustache and like a little beanie, and he would just kind of die in every scene. But I think he was supposed to be like a drug dealer, sort of a ne'er-do-well type character, up to no good. He'd just be hanging out, and my friend Sean would walk by and shoot him in the head, and that was the way we could do our prosthetic makeup stuff. So we would be like, all right, Chico's gonna get shot in the head. I'm gonna look in my Tom Savini makeup book and see how we can do that. Okay, we just need a button and some mortician's wax and some fake blood and fishing line. And Sean, you're gonna walk by Chico, and then I'll pull the fishing line and pop a hole in the mortician's wax on my little sister's forehead, and it's gonna look real. It actually looks pretty good.
Do you have any copies of that, or anywhere we can see any of that?
I think I at one point transferred some of those Super 8 films, because we did a thing during, I think it was during Wonder Shows, and we had like a little film festival, and like all the people that worked on Wonder Shows and brought in like their old films and movies and stuff. And I had transferred that, but yeah, it's probably in storage somewhere. I still have all the original film rolls, but they're all in storage. I'll have to get them one day from the grave.
Yeah, definitely. I think that'd be really funny to see.
Some kind of format that people can see. Yeah, but that was fun. I mean, yeah, it was like I said, it was just like growing up. That's all I want to do is just like draw monsters, make like silly like animations, and create characters and stuff. So, I guess fortunately, I've been able to continue doing that.
Yeah. Do you have any advice? Because I know that you got into the business kind of young. It was definitely probably a different business maybe back then. I don't know. Was it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wanted to get into animation and television. I went to art school. I went to RISD, and then I was like, what am I going to do? I want to get into animation. And then I had a friend who had moved to New York, and she was working at Broadcast Arts. And that was a production company that did the first season of Pee-wee's Playhouse, and they did all the animation stuff. But at the time, it was the early 90s, so they were still doing cell animation, which is what I learned how to do. So I was painting cells and inking cells, and then, taking them to this big Oxbury animation stand and shooting it on 35 millimeter film, a frame at a time. And that was great. It was like, it was amazing. So that was like my first kind of taste of the business and being in New York. And so, yeah, these days, I'm not sure how you get into it, because it just seems like you can do whatever you want. You don't really need to go to school. There's just so much software out there, like animation software stuff that seems like people have access to. And yeah, so I don't know what people do these days.
So here's a question, because I noticed that you're a real like Renaissance man when it comes to just with your art and stuff, and your music. You kind of dabble in a little bit of everything.
My Renaissance style clothing.
Yeah, man. No, you got a handsome figure. I'm not gonna lie. You're a handsome looking, good looking guy, dude. What was the? Oh yeah. So is there anything that you want to try artistically, like a medium that you just haven't found the time yet, or because of finances or like studio space or whatever? And is there anything that you tried that you just couldn't get the knack of? You're just like, it's something that you're like, I just don't ever want to touch this again.
Probably bass guitar.
Well, on which one? You don't want to touch it again, or that you want to discover it?
I don't want to try it again. No, I guess music is the thing that's always eluded me, that you know, that I was interested in being able to understand it. And I don't have the brain for it. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how you remember notes or what note is what, or, you know, how to do it, but that's okay. But, yeah, as far as doing something closer to, or something that I haven't done, that's maybe closer to what I do. I don't think so. I mean, I feel like I've tried everything. You know, I've done animation. I've tried all different kinds of animation, puppet animation, cell animation, claymation. I've done all kinds of paintings, all different kinds of drawing styles, watercolor, oil paint, acrylic. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of it. I feel like I've seen things that are new, maybe felting. There's these people that do these. I don't know if you've seen it.
Velvet paintings?
No, felting. I have done velvet paintings, but felting is like, I've seen people do like these very realistic cat heads.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about, like on TikTok, where they have the little like machine and they press the little thing into the little ball of cotton kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. They'll take like, I guess it's like cotton or felt, and they have like these long needles, and they'll keep building it up, pushing it in, and they have like these glass cat eyes, and they look super real. I'm like, shit. I wonder if I could do like a weird like fucked up cat head, if I could master felting. So that could be that. You might have just given me the little kick in the tush that I need.
You should be on Amazon right now buying whatever the pin is.
What?
I think it has a pin or something. That's why I always noticed it has like some kind of felting pin. I'm like, I want one of those just to have. It looks cool.
Yeah. I think the gear's pretty cool. I think the community's kind of awesome. We should get into it. Maybe start.
Is there's a budding friendship, and that's what we'll relate about. You know what?
That's what we'll bond over, is felting our deceased pets.
So here's a question that you kind of got me thinking about, because whenever I try to do art or when I find anything, I always end up making it a fucked up version. I always end up doing something, whatever. And I always copped it to, I'm not really good at drawing hands, so I had a lot of amputee drawings, you know? So,
did you ever see that?
What?
I saw a guy that had a tattoo, and he was missing an arm, but he got this tattoo of like a dolphin on his shoulder, and then like the nose of the dolphin was like the nub of what was left of his arm. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I've seen. I love shit like that, where it's like, oh, that guy seems like he'd be really fun to party with. He's just got a good attitude about life.
Yeah, it's like, what are you gonna do? Anyway.
I have a fat guy with a big like dog taking a shit on his belly button or something. And you're like, oh, that guy's great.
Yeah.
What was gonna? Yeah. So, have you ever tried to, or have you ever been? You ever made anything maybe more classical, or have you ever tried to, like, on your own be like, I want to make something that's not goofy or whatever? I don't know how to necessarily put it.
Yeah, something that's like, I mean, I consider most of my art like lowbrow, and then I see people that just can paint like photorealistic portraits, and I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. And I just, I mean, I think there's like, sometimes I do start out like wanting to do something that's maybe not as typically like cartoony or lowbrow, but I just kind of seem to fall back into that, just because I guess it's safe space, and I know I'm competent in that space and have enough confidence to be able to do what I want. And I mean, frustration is the thing that you always come up against in art. But it's a terrible feeling to be, like you said, want to like draw hands or something, and then you're just like, oh, fuck it, let's just ignore the hands. But there's a beauty in, what I appreciate is that there's a beauty in someone that doesn't necessarily know how to draw hands or do art, but they still try, and what you get is like that's the essence of this person's struggle. And that to me is so much more interesting than like seeing a photorealistic portrait. I mean, I can appreciate like a beautiful portrait, but there's also something more interesting about this, the struggle that someone undertakes that really wants to like, get to a certain point, but doesn't quite make it, but still reveal their process.
Yeah, no, I think that's beautiful, actually, the way that you put that. Yeah,
And I
go
feel
on.
like for myself, that also kind of gives me, when I'm doing stuff, a little leeway, because I'm like, well, yeah, maybe this doesn't look like a perfect face, but it's the way I see it, and it's sort of, I'm the only one that's going to be able to express it this way. So I'm not, if it feels like fucked up to me or not perfect, it's not necessarily going to appear that way to somebody else.
Yeah. So are there like, when you're looking at your art, all you see is the imperfections, the things that you weren't able to do?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I
Interesting.
mean, that's part of like, yeah, I mean, it's part of the process. Yeah, it always seems to, I mean, a lot of times I feel like it goes through different phases where you start out like with a cool idea and you put it down on the canvas and it looks pretty good. And then you start adding paint and it just starts looking worse and worse and you feel worse about it and you feel more and more depressed. And then you're just like, all right, I gotta, punch through this wall, and you just keep going. And then eventually you're like, all right, it's starting to look a little better. And then you're like, all right, I gotta stop now. It's okay. So yeah, it's the artist struggle, I think is pretty much typical.
Do you like the kind of like the transient lifestyle that you're living these days? Yeah.
Not really. No, I mean, well, it took me a while to understand. I mean, because getting back to early on in the conversation, after PFR, I was making pretty good money as a commercial director, and I was making really good money working on, Xavier, and then that just was like, that money was just cut off. So I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? I'm living in New York and I can't afford the rent. So I'm like, I have no choice. I have no money saved up. So I'm 44 years old and I end up living with my parents again. And I was like, this is probably the lowest point of my life, But the thing that it forced me into was the realization that it forced me to think about, what do I really want to do? What is, in the core of my heart that if I can't do anything else, what do I want to do? So it made me focus on that. And I was just doing art. So that's what I started doing. So it was in a way a blessing, although it was a very, a very difficult transition, kind of almost extreme in a way. I mean, thankfully I wasn't like homeless. I wasn't out on the street. I had a place to go. So yeah, I mean, it's been, like I said, I've been here 10 years on a couch, but it's been an interesting journey, because I have been able, the thing that it's given me is that it's given me time to, pursue all these artistic ideas and actually make art and, not be too stressed about my living situation. So obviously it's not perfect, but I think it's kind of part of the story I guess I've chosen that's playing out.
Yeah. So what do you see next? Are you interested in maybe doing not necessarily obviously Xavier or Wonder shows but working with another team like that? Doing I don't know, in some facet or another, or maybe are you already doing that? Is there something already in the works?
Yeah, I think there kind of is. I mean, yeah, I loved, working with those guys. I mean, it was unique. It was kind of unique. It's not something that those kind of people like John and Vernon, they're so smart and clever and so good at what they do. And yeah, you don't meet people like that very often. And I'm glad to call them my friends. But it was just so much fun working with them because they're so good at what they do and they're so funny. And I feel like, I learned a lot just from, hanging out with those guys. But yeah, I do like working collaboratively, and it would be great to, kind of have something like that again. I did actually get to do, there's a movie about stickers called Sticker Movie that I was recently involved in. And that was a lot of fun because I got to do I do the puppet in the movie, which was a lot of fun. And
is it the leather puppet?
No, it's the same kind of form. It's not. Yeah, leather puppet is called Gimpy, and there's a few of them. This one is pink, and he's called Slappy. He's a slap tagger, which is what the kids who do the stickers call it. Yeah, so I got to do that, and that was a lot of fun. It did kind of remind me a little bit of the Wonder Shows and days. So yeah, I'm definitely up for anything like that may present itself.
Man, fantastic. Well, I hope. I don't know. That's really badass that you're still doing that stuff, and it's kind of interesting that you like almost reinvented your whole your whole life, not life, but your whole artistic image or whatever. I guess lifestyle, even. I guess you kind of have, right? It's you seem kind of like you're almost going the way other people would go. You did the art school stuff, and then you got the job, and this is kind of like your Richard Pryor, George Carlin. Really just I don't know, going crazy with it.
From riches to rags to more rags. Just kind of like I said, it's just a realization of what I want to do, which I mean, I think I explained it as well as I could. But I think when you're starting out, and it was different when I started out. Like I moved to New York, and I was just doing freelance work, working at an animation studio, and I could make my rent in a week. And that changed really, really quickly. It's just now you step out of the apartment and you spend $100 just stepping onto the sidewalk. It's ridiculous. So
it's like harder to live as a starving artist these days.
I think it's always been, but yeah. I don't know if you can live as a starving artist. I think you just end up starving and not doing any art. It's not easy. It's not meant to be.
I wanna let you go. I just want to ask. I want to ask two questions, maybe three. First off, I want to ask you the question that we ask all of our guests, Mr. Jim Tozzi. How big is your penis?
As it is now, or when engorged?
Dealer's
fully?
Choice.
Man, well, I'm gonna go floppy. It's about an inch and a quarter.
Very good.
It's the Eric Wareheim like mushroom tip with like nestled within a giant bush. But what is the term? I'm a grower, not a shower.
Yeah, no, I have the smallest penis in San Antonio, and I hold that title.
Roused, you might be taken out.
Oh, really? You got a monster on you? Yeah, that's a yes.
I don't want to brag.
No, it's fine. I'll brag for you. That's fine.
But I'm happy with it, and it's always it's always served me well. So I have no complaints.
That's beautiful.
No matter how small you think my penis is.
Well, you know what? Let's just all bask in that a little bit. Kind of like a fart inside a car. Let's just sit in it. That's nice.
Yeah. Be secure in your
manhood or lack thereof.
Yes, or lack thereof.
And so I want to ask. This is a very corny question, but I would love to hear your take on it, just personally. Do you have any advice to people that are not necessarily trying to I don't know, just something that you wish that you would have heard when you were younger, that maybe you only recently discovered, or somebody had told you, or something like that you kind of think back to a lot and that you're glad that you heard or learned?
Or didn't wait, is it or didn't learn?
No, I know I kind of
I heard that has helped me.
Yeah, something that's helped you, but maybe you wish you had heard earlier. Something, yeah. Sorry about that.
like, dude, you got to get into NFTs.
You son of a bitch.
I think I missed the boat. I got a bunch of dog coins and now they're worthless.
I actually heard that Harry Potter or Obama coin.
We probably wouldn't be having this conversation. I'd be on a yacht with Elon, just cruising.
Is that, man? So do you know Beeple? I know that he's the guy that got all the fucking money.
Well, that was the thing right? Everyone went crazy because Beeple was like, was it Christie's or Sotheby's, like sold his fucking little digital art things for millions of dollars, and everyone went nuts. But I do know a guy. Beeple then had like it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. I think he had like a show, like a group show, and he invited a bunch of I guess NFT artists to show. And I do know one guy that was part of that. Who's actually a really good artist and very funny. David Henry Nobody Jr.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of him, but look him up on Instagram. He's the guy that in the 90s, he dressed he had this fake persona, and he would wear a tuxedo and crash like rich, expensive parties, and he'd like hang out with Bill Clinton and Hillary and stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he's amazing, and he does really good like weird. I guess he builds like costumes for himself, and they're all kind of like kinetic, mobile, crazy, funny costumes with like hot dogs and like putting a bag of cereal around his head and then pouring milk into it. Yeah, he's great. So I think he was part of the Beeple show. But yes, serious like advice that I got that was helpful, I'm not sure. I always feel like, I always miss the boat on that stuff. It's, it's like a little too late. Like, oh shit, or maybe I should have paid attention.
Yeah, no, I back. So speaking of when I used to get paid to do videos with stunts and stuff like that, somebody offered to pay me in Bitcoin.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I could have had like a lot of Bitcoin. But here's the thing: I wouldn't have kept it. I would have just sold it. So it's not like if I had that foresight, it would have been a different Alonzo that wasn't making those videos that would have had the foresight to keep it. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. So
yeah, you wonder how would your life be much different, or
do I? Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Wow, shit, that's why I'm stupid.
But you would hope not. Like if you suddenly became like a millionaire.
Oh no, I'd become probably like a supervillain, like a Lex Luthor type personally. Yeah.
You'd find an underground lair.
Oh yeah, no, I would have multiple subterranean layers. You've seen where they try to sell those missile silos, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Don't people live down there?
Dude, that's something like that.
Or an abandoned airplane.
Yeah.
Abandoned 7.
I get some Israeli friends, and they sneak me a nuke, and I can be a real problem for the fucking government.
Yeah, you can. That's how you make your money.
Yeah, exactly. And then who's canceling who now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a two-way street, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Mutual destruction, my friends. Now just let me draw my boner cartoons in peace.
Yeah.
Of Muhammad. Boner Muhammad. Oh, maybe that'll be my thing. Bert's tit, I'll be Boner Muhammad.
Oh. To be uninhibited in your drawings of religious figures.
I like that. Uninhibited in your religious figures. That's fucking beautiful. Mr. Tozzi, I worry that if I say any more, I'm gonna stick my foot in my mouth and offend you. I have nothing but the most respect for you, my man. Thank you so much for calling in. I'm sorry about the early issues. I'm sorry, go on.
Oh, no, it's not nice. I appreciate that very much. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much. I hope, I hope that I asked you some good questions.
I feel like I should pay for this session. What do you charge?
Hey.
like an hour and a half. $85 an hour or something? Not including...
25 an hour, you can Cash App that
Plus
to
tip.
me. Yeah, Cash App BFI, Cash App BFI Live, I think that's what it is. So, you
I'm
send
gonna
that to me or,
write-
checks in the mail, I'm sure.
I'm going to write it down. I'm writing it down right now on my micro penis.
Oh, beautiful.
When I get excited, look out. The money's going to come pouring in.
Mr. Tozzi, where can people find your Threadless? I know you have a Threadless right now.
Yeah, Threadless. That's if you want like some T-shirts and stuff. I'm not like a huge fan because it's like, oh yeah, they'll charge you like $20 for a T-shirt and then they'll send me like 36 cents. Be like, you made a sale. I'm like, awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm actually selling my stuff at kind of a loss too because I shouldn't say this, but yeah, whenever somebody buys it, I gotta pay for it.
What?
Yeah, and then I get the money later and all that, but I get $5.
Oh.
But I want the people to have it. I want people to wear the stuff, because I like the designs and stuff.
Right. Well, that's part of it. It's like, it's great because you don't have to, at least with Threadless, they ship it out for you. And it's like, all you got to do is download designs, so it's not like I'm on the floor screen printing stuff, which is fun to do.
I was about to say, it seems like right up your alley.
Yeah.
I need time for my felting. I can't be screen printing.
Yes, silk screening was great. I still got a bunch of like old screens. I should kind of exhume them from the storage, but
yeah, charge extra. Handmade Tozzi shirts, man.
Yeah. But it's it's easy. It's easier just to like get something, just download an image and have them do everything else. So yeah, check out Threadless, and like everything else is just on Instagram. That's right. Where I'm at on the gram.
JimTozzi.
That's it.
Jim Tozzi. Man, thank you so much. You're so cool. You've been awesome. I'm gonna let you get back to your David Letterman shows, and
off the couch, man. I hope you aren't either.
Dude, I'm not. I'm not. I'm gonna die on this couch. They're gonna have to scrape me off like one of those fat people, and they're gonna have to cut the door open. Dude, you know what? Oh, that would be a big fuck you to my apartment if I got so fat that they had to pay for hazmat to scrape my ass off of here and then cut the door down. That would be a real fuck you to them. Yeah, charge me for my deposit now, asshole. Thank you so much for that idea, Jim. You are really the magic. What are those Vern and Jim fucking jerk offs doing these days? Fucking nothing. I bet their couch is half the size of your couch.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I can only hope.
They probably don't even have a couch to sleep on or a window to throw their piss bucket out of, I bet, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't know. We can only hope for the best.
Yeah. Well, I love you, man. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I hope everybody goes out there and buys.
Love right back at you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. And I hope everybody goes and buys a T-shirt. I'm definitely going to buy a T-shirt. I'm going to keep an eye out for your erotic duck book.
There's also there's the PFFR book.
You get a little piece of that?
It's available. I think I get a piece of that.
No.
But I'm not saying that just because I get a little piece of it. But I think it's still available on Drag City Records.
Drag City. So yeah, Drag City Records. I'm going to check that out. I definitely want to check out that Flesh movie. Maybe we'll do a watching and a review on it.
Yeah, they got Final Flesh and
Final Flesh.
It's like 200 drawings that we did while we were making Wonder Shows, and of just crazy, funny stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out. We might actually even maybe do a live thing where we watch that, because it might be better for everybody to watch it together, at a show. And then I think I'm gonna play out the Gary Busey buttered sausage before the end of the thing, as requested by Mr. Jim Tozzi.
The icing on the cake.
It will be the icing on the cake.
Man, good old Gary and his teeth. All right, man.
All right, man. Have a great one, dude.
Hang in there. Have a great weekend.
You too, dude. Stay safe. Hey, say what's up to Chico for me.
I will indeed.
All right.
I'll shoot him in the head.
All right. Peace out, man.
Peace.
Man, that was Mr. Jim Tozzi for an hour and a half.
Peace.
And I'm sorry, guys. I kicked my other friends out to make room for my new best friend, Jim Tozzi. So
it's all right. I knew it was gonna happen one day.
Yeah, it's all good. I just didn't want him to know that I hang out with a half black, half Japanese guy. What's
I'm
that gonna
only a
look
quarter
like?
Japanese.
I could have said that then. My bad. I should have told him. I'd be like, "Don't worry, Jim. He's only a quarter Japanese." So Dieta, thank you so much for coming through. You really saved the day with your flash comedy stylings, flash laughs.
Well, thank y'all for having me.
Yes. What do you think about the Mountain Dew mystery flavor? She's sipping on the illustrious Mountain Dew that should be paying me money for how much I.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty tasty, right? What do you think the flavor is? What's the mystery flavor? Let's all take a guess at it.
I feel like it's some sort of grape. It's not solid grape. It's like.
Is that the
grape.
black side of you saying that, Bub? Come on.
I mean, it is like bluish purple.
Yeah.
This is like a berry assortment.
Oh, mixed berry. Oh, you know what? Yeah, maybe it's the mixed berry. It kind of has a Skittles flavor to it, you think? What are you looking at, Bub?
I'm trying to look up.
You've been outside all day. You don't got one thing to say?
No, I'm trying to look up the show that we have booked for the 18th with Tony, but I can't find a flyer.
Well, you guys got a show at Big Hops. Go check that out. I'll be sure to promote it. You guys can just check out Bub's Facebook. Go check out badfirstimpressions.com. It has a link to Bub's Facebook. It has a link to my Facebook. It has a link to a bunch of shit. It has a link to our Etsy store where you can get the hoodie. Bad First Impression. Go on. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, and on November 18th, I'm with Tony Bain, John Abraham, and who the hell's the third person on this show? He changed. We had the Haneys with us, but then they were booked for Dieta's show. She fucking stole them from us. So then we had to swap them out with Abraham and I forget who. Oh, Ryan Herrera. But it's at Beethoven's Manator. I don't know how to pronounce that. Some German shit.
The Laugh House Comedy Night, Tony Bain. It is at Beethoven. Yeah, I think Manator sounds about right. Or Manacor. It's Mannerchor. Beethoven Mannerchor. The Laugh House. And that's going to be amazing with our best friends, Tony Bain, and all that good stuff. And you guys can go check that out and not go check out the other show. No, I'm just joking. Go check out the other show, too.
It was 8
Spend your
to
money.
9 o'clock on November 18th.
All right. Anything that you didn't plug that you want to plug more, please? And plug more, please.
No, I mean, we talked about the next two shows coming up next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Our December show is still in the works, so we haven't quite nailed down our date for that one yet, but if y'all just follow us on Flash Laughs, we're on Instagram and Facebook as Flash Laughs, and we'll keep everybody updated there.
Beautiful.
Or you can find the newest, biggest, brightest comedians in San Antonio.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And even though Cody didn't show up, still go check out the Crazy Ape at the, what is it, the Ape Shit Comedy Night. Is it every other
It gives
Friday?
a bad name to all gays.
Yes, every other Friday. We just had it last night, so our next one will be 2 weeks from now, which will be November.
What a diva move.
25th.
What, Cody?
Yeah.
He just didn't want to come through because he doesn't respect somebody that he's came inside and he doesn't want to look at me. That's what it is.
Well, you should have let me know that before I booked him.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I don't respect anybody that's ever sucked my dick. I don't respect anything that's come out of their mouth.
Definitely can't listen to their opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. He's very misogynistic that way. Or is it a misogynistic? What would you call it? If misandryism, can a gay be misandry?
I don't know how that would work. It's funny. We had this conversation. Well, so my youngest son is gay, and a couple.
So I bet he would have showed up if we invited him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's not. He's a little antisocial, but.
Oh, the gays are just not a punctual bunch. Is that what we're learning today? This is good.
But my daughter, we were eating dinner a few days ago.
She's not gay, right?
No, she's not.
Okay.
And I said something about the chicken. I don't remember what it was, but then she was like, "What'd you say about the chicken?" And then, well, they had both smoked weed, so they were high.
Hopefully, she doesn't have a job that cares about that.
No, she's actually in college right now. So.
Oh, yeah, they definitely don't care about weed in college.
Yeah, she'd be weird if she wasn't smoking weed.
But she was like, "What'd you say?" And he just starts laughing, and he's like, "She didn't say anything about the chicken." And she was like, "Yes, you did." And I was too busy laughing and chewing to answer her. And he kept like, "No, you didn't." And then finally, I was like, "Yes, I asked about the chicken." And she told him, she was like, "Not you trying to gaslight me again. You better check your misogyny." But it's just funny because, like, she's yelling at the gay guy to check his misogyny. So it's an interesting.
Interesting.
Like,
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
how does it? Would it be misogyny? Like, I don't know.
I think that I wonder what that word would be. We have to look it up. I know that's like the opposite, but can you be a woman?
So that story could use a couple more punchlines.
Oh, Jesus Christ, bub. That's why she has the comedians.
Give it to the comedians, let them work on it, and have them feed it back to you.
Oh, well, I mean, I wasn't trying to be funny. I was just trying to tell you the story.
Yeah, stop it, bub. I'm sorry. I don't know why Bub's so angry all the time.
It's fine. It's fine.
This is diabetes.
Yeah.
I have no ambitions to be a comedian, so.
Well, I think that you're awesome person and a very funny person and a very sweet person. Thank you so much for coming through, Dieta.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
No.
Such a loving mood right now.
No, I just appreciate you coming through and being on time and all that and spending your time with us and all that. And also, yeah, it's just sitting there quietly for an hour and a half and all that. I do appreciate that. I want to give another shout out to Jim Tozzi, who called in earlier. A great dude. Go check out his Instagram. I'll be sure to plug that again better when I share everything later on today. So you guys will know where to get a hold of him. Go check out Wonder Shows In. Go check out Xavier Renegade Angel. And go check out PFFR. And yeah, thank you guys so much for showing up. Anything anybody else wants to say? Any last words?
Not really. Thank you for showing up, Dieta, and fuck Cody.
Yeah, fuck Cody, dude. He's giving gays a bad name. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot to all the callers. Oh, yeah, thanks for Donald Trump for calling in. I love him still. He's a good dude.
Somebody else called in before Trump, right?
Yeah, somebody else called in before Trump. Red something. Red, that guy.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, that's been a funky dealer.
Nine a winner. Pay the front line, take the don'ts. He's coming out again for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. 4-4's the point, mark 4. Ace, deuce, scrap, want 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 4. Ace, deuce, ace, deuce, scrap, want 4. Scrap, want 4. Who wants the hard 4? 5 wants 4.
Check me out, y'all.
9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 4, and he made it the hard way. Hey, the front line takes the hard. We have a shooter and a good one. Coming out for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. He's a rolling point as 9. Place 9. Place 9. 8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. He's a rolling point as 9. Place 9. 8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. Who wants to come? 6 to point.
Check me out, y'all.
9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets. Place your bets. Who wants to come? 6 to point. Who wants to come? 6 to point. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
So funky. So funky. Check me out, y'all.
8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. He's a rolling point as 9. Place 9. 8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. Who wants to come? the count. Nine a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Nine a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, place your bets. Nine a winner. Pay the front line, take the don'ts. He's coming out again for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. 4-4's the point, mark 4. Ace, deuce, ace, ace, deuce, who wants to come? 6 the point, who wants to come? 6 the point, who wants to come? 6 the point. Play 6.
That's all, folks.